What is going on YouTube? Welcome to the channel, the first video on noisy aquatics. Now, you're probably wondering why I'm stood in a 12 by 20, pretty much brand new built little structure here. And it is technically a barn, I would say. I mean, it's all kind of wood around, above, obviously on the sides. We do have a window, we have a big door over here. Sorry, it's really weird recording like this. And then you have a small door here. And then a big garage door. I've had many fish in my lifetime, including arowana and that kind of stuff. So I got out of the hobby a while ago. I moved house and kind of, sold all my fish, gave them away, etc. All the tanks, everything. So I just got the clear green light that I can turn this random structure that's in the back of our yard. Obviously this is our yard out here. As you can see, it's a barn. It's pretty much a barn. People over here in America, they put tractors or lawnmowers, as you guys call it, in it, kayaks, whatever. We have a trolling motor for the boat that's on the lake. Now, this whole progression through what I'm going to be doing in here, as far as like electrical, plumbing, filtration, air supply, everything is going to be recorded as far as, the videos go. And now, obviously, I'm not even at the point of even doing anything crazy right now, or I have to get all of this cleared out. Like, everything has to get cleared out of here. I gotta paint the floor. So this is gonna be the main door when you walk in to the place. Obviously it's stained. It's obviously had a couple, of years of, grime and oil and stuff in here. But it's 12 by 20. I literally have the blueprint on the wall right there of the building and stuff. So what's gonna be happening is I'm planning on putting a floor drain in the center, just in case, if something ever floods, or I'm filling tanks that are going to be displayed all the way around this whole room, I can just kind of squeegee it into the floor. Now you can kind of see my house. My house is right there. What I'm going to be doing is there's electrical that is in the garage. I'm going to be running electrical out here underground in conduit or by specs. Okay, so it's probably been about 3 months since I recorded the first initial video. Now, I have been under construction here at the house because we're getting a giant deck onto the back of the house. So we had to move stuff. I know it's crazy. It's a mess in here, but I just want to update you guys for what we're doing. I think it's June now. It's almost the middle of June, but I started to mark out where I wanted, obviously, the outlets to go on the wall. I'm going to start running electrical here in a minute. I chose to put the electrical boxes up high. I didn't want them down low. I thought it would be a lot easier. A, it saves a lot of wire, and B, the drip loops for any filter or anything, or the bubbles going on the the lines that go down to the plugs and stuff. So there's no way any water can get up there. That way it doesn't have to be GFI, I do believe. I can't remember if that's the correct term or not, but we're gonna have a junction box above every single outlet that we have. And then over here, we've got an outlet with a switch. So the original plan was to put an outlet the moment you either walk through this door or lift the big garage door up, but I got to figure out a plan for that. I was going to put this here, but I'm not too keen on wiring light switches. I had bad experiences of me trying it and then them not working at all. So I ended up just doing something else instead, and I'm just going to be getting an outlet with a switch. So there's obviously going to be an outlet on the bottom. The thing you plug into it, there's a switch on top, and you click it on or off, and then it gives whatever power. So the plan is, obviously, when we have all of the installation in here and we get all the walls up, these beams up here, there's 4, I think. So there's 1, 2, 3, and then there's 4 above the garage door. That's you're gonna have 2 LED lights on. So the bar LEDs are gonna obviously go from the corner to the halfway, and then a little bit over, then another one all the way over. On Amazon, they're $60. I think you get 8, so 2, 4, 6, 8. So it'll be perfect to put the lights up top. So these are most of the tanks, not most, but these are some of the tanks that are going in here. I do believe we've got 2 60s. We have 2 30s. I think this may be a 40. And then we have a giant tank down here. I think it's a 125 because it's long and deep. I don't know the plan on where I'm going to put these. I just know the main back wall of this build is going to be the big tank. So I wanted to put my outlets, on the top and put 3 of them. I tried to go even because I'm really picky with where things are and symmetrical. So I am going to mount the junction boxes, good old Menards. So we got a bunch of junk, not junk, so junction boxes. And obviously I'm going to start mounting the junction boxes where they should be. That way, when we run the power up, they have an easy tie-in point to where the wires have to, come down into the switches and the outlets. So I'm gonna mount these and we'll see what happens. Okay, so it's been about a couple of days since the last updated video. I know it's like kind of 3 months, a couple months, and then back to doing the work, but I've been so busy. So anyway, I was gonna mount them up top. I ended up mounting them below in obviously the lower section above the beam, below the beam, sorry, because I couldn't really fit them up there and it didn't look great. So we got all of our junction boxes in, there are outlets, which is great, and obviously over here as well. I couldn't mount those up top again, that's why we just copied the ones down there. But now what I'm doing is I'm just going through with the auger bit, and this is where I'm making all of the holes that are going to run throughout all of the joists to connect to obviously all of the outlets in the wall. So I definitely realized, and I'm glad I did before I started doing everything, I'm going to try and tuck my wires up high, because what happens is obviously when I start putting the walls together, I don't want to put a screw through the line that we just ran freshly. So these right here are obviously going to be back here, and they're going to be tacked up with the good old staple, and that way when I'm putting the walls up and building these corners out, because I'm going to run this down. So this is obviously going to be not a corner, it's going to be more of like a diagonal. It's going to follow the beams in the sides, because I want to mount something up underneath that, or maybe do like a pretty cool, really tall, like triangle fish tank in the corner. No idea what I put in there, but it's just an option. I probably won't do anything with this side because they're really small. I do think these are a lot wider. The tub is, I think, the last time I spoke to you guys, I think I said I was putting it over here. I am doing that, and obviously I'm running a drain all along here and pitching it out the back, and it's obviously going to just dump into the backyard, which is obviously sloped, so we don't have to worry about it. So this is the update so far. I'm going to try and get cracking on it. I'm going to go buy some outlets and at least get the outlets put in, and then the last thing to do would be to run the wire from the house to the barn. So okay, so it's been about a couple of days since the last updated video. I know it's like kind of 3 months, a couple months, and then back to doing the work, but I've been so busy. So anyway, I was going to mount them up top. I ended up mounting them below in obviously the lower section above the beam, below the beam, sorry, because I couldn't really fit them up there and it didn't look great. So we got all of our junction boxes in, there are outlets, which is great, and obviously over here as well. I couldn't mount those up top again, that's why we just copied the ones down there. But now what I'm doing is I'm just going through with the auger bit, and this is where I'm making all of the holes that are going to run throughout all of the joists to connect to obviously all of the outlets in the wall. So we're finally done with running all of the wire through the joists, connecting to each junction box in here. The only thing I do have left to do now is just to obviously do a piece of wire going from our outlets to our junction boxes. So I do believe we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 right there. So 7 boxes, and then we'll start obviously wire nutting them together and worrying about shooting the line from that outlet there. We're going to tie into the main house feed, and then it's going to obviously go underground and pop in right here. If the lighting's odd, I apologize. I have like this random bulb just chilling with an extension cord that runs to the house on the outside of it. So if it looks weird, I apologize, but I just wanted to give you guys an update of what's going on in the barn today, or I don't really know what to call it, really, fish room barn thing. So we're running all of the wires that go down to all of the outlets. We have 2 outlets wired in. We got 1 there, and I think 1 there. So from what I got told by my electrician friend was I didn't have to run like 7 junction boxes, because I was unaware that you could just kind of, you know, run 1 feed down to the plug, and then on the other side of the plug you can start new wire, and then you can go to the next plug, and you can kind of jump them like that. So I didn't know that I could do that. So I was actually, funny enough, following like this little, like, you know, card thing, and it says like, you know, how to run wire, you know, to plugs and stuff. So I wanted to do it this way, and he said that it wasn't a bad idea, like it wasn't a bad thing that I did it like that. The only thing was that it obviously would take me a little bit longer, and it honestly has taken me a little while longer than expected. But on top of that, like, because I got so many junction boxes, the best thing about it is if I was actually wanting to put more lights in, I already have like countless sources of power in different locations, so I can go ahead and just put my lights up wherever I please. But I'll show you what my electrician friend was like trying to explain to me as far as like wiring the lights and not having to put a bunch of junction boxes and tee them in like we have done up there to down there. So this is obviously our junction box, and you can see that we have obviously the 2 lines that come into the junction box. It was one continuous line going all the way through, and then what I did is I just kind of put them inside, and I kind of like pulled out and I made like a V, and I cut the V, which then obviously left me with like, you know, the 2 lines in there. So what the electrician was saying was, instead of having a bunch of junction boxes like I have done, like, you know, and I have put them honestly bloody absolutely everywhere, and I didn't really intend for that to happen. I just wanted to make sure that it was correct. So what he was trying to explain to me was, I have like this little card thing, and obviously it shows you different ways to, you know, wire the plug up. So let's go ahead and find a plug here. Okay. So this is obviously your standard 20 amp plug. Yes, I did change the inside of the wire. I was unaware that if you had a 20 amp fuse in the fuse box, you have to have 20 amp wire. And what he was telling me about that is if I was kind of overloading on this, the wire would actually give out before the breaker switched and turned off. So he was like, you know, if you get like if you pull too much amperage on that wire, this wire actually, funny enough, this will actually burn through and then kind of cause, you know, a fire. But he was like, it's highly likely for that to happen, but he said you might as well be safe than sorry. So I did change everything to 20 amp wire going throughout the fish gallery. So, and then I had to go and buy new plugs. So I got 20 amp plugs right here. So what he was trying to say and explain was this wire that comes down from the main feed that comes into that junction box. Main feed's going to be coming in, up, connecting to that. What he was saying was I can go ahead and get that line, and I could come through, come down, and then tie in exactly how I have done with this. But instead of doing the T up here that I did with all the other wiring, he said you could have just connected to this side. So you have obviously your neutral and your live on the top. Obviously that's your hot right there, and then this one is just like your neutral. And then you would do the same down, but then you would run the downstairs wire just up, you know, through the top of the box, and then you would continue over, go to the next one, do the same thing, jump it, go to the next one, jump it, go to the next one. That way you didn't have to have like 7 junction boxes throughout the whole, you know, room. So I thought that was kind of neat. I mean, I learned something new every day. And if I mispronounce the electrician term for like hot and neutral, I do apologize. We'll actually just go ahead and like look at it right now. What do we have? Hot wire. Oh, I was right. Hot and neutral. So yeah, I was correct. So obviously you put your hot on the right, and then you put your neutral on the left, and then obviously when you wire the bottom plug in again, then you would do the same thing, and then you would just literally jump it and go to the next junction box on the next, like, you know, plug. So I was just, you know, I've got a lot of junction boxes, but it's fine. So that's pretty much what's been going on in here, is just running a wire and having to take all the wire back out and then running new wire. And this wire is a lot thicker because it has more wires in it, and obviously it's more heavy duty because of the amount of amperage that's going through it. As far as I know, all I know is this wire is a lot thicker than the wire that we had up here, the 15 amp. So I'm going to get back to work on wiring the other outlets up. I think obviously this one's done, obviously, and then we have to do this one, and we just swing back over here and do this one and this one. The only thing that I did not realize that I put this plug in here thinking that it was just going to be an ordinary plug. I forgot that we're actually going to be putting like the light switch kind of plug in here, so you flick the switch on that activates that plug. I forgot about that because that's how I'm going to be running the wires, because I don't trust myself enough to actually run, you know, LED lights in here and then have like a switch. Obviously, like I showed you in the previous video, I was going to obviously put the switch like right here the moment you walk through this door, because obviously I don't want to keep coming through that big door, because we're going to have a lot of tanks here set up on the wall and, you know, relatively close to the ground. So I just don't want it to vibrate and freak the fish out and stress them out and all that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna get cracking on these outlets, but obviously wired that in, so we're gonna have to figure something else out for an on and off switch. So I'll get you guys tuned back in there the moment I get this done. Let me tell you something. It is absolutely hot today, outside and even inside the fish room here. So the last time I left you guys, I was wiring the plugs. Well, I ended up skipping these two. I don't know why. I guess I was kind of just like, I can't be bothered to, like, you know, do any more wiring. I've been wiring everything for like the longest time, but I do want to show you guys something I picked up for an absolute steal. It requires a little bit of TLC and some power washing and stuff, but just wait. Okay, so this is what happens when I'm left unsupervised with money. That right there is a 100-gallon fish tank. It's like 6 foot length, right? 18 width and then 22 high. So newest collection to the fish room. I'm excited. I can't wait. And thanks to Jeremy for you know, driving to pick this up, because my car does not fit 6 foot long things. So so this tank is, I think it's officially clean. Obviously I'm not going to worry about like the stuff down here. I think this is just like scuffed and scraped to the point like where I can't kind of clean it. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it doesn't look too bad. I think I'm gonna have an issue right down here with obviously the water spots. I used like this water spot remover thing that's safe for aquarium glass by like API, so not too sure if it actually works to a decent amount, because I still see a lot of watermarks down there. I know once obviously there's water in it, you're not going to see it as much, but it's going to irritate me. It's kind of the same like with these tanks. These tanks were in terrible shape when I first got them. I think the guy did like a breeder tank or something like that, because some of these tanks are actually drilled. I think that one, I don't really know what that, I think that's maybe a 75. I think they're both drilled. No, so sorry. So just one of these are drilled, but as far as like water spots go, you can kind of see that. I mean, I scrubbed the absolute crap out of these things, and I don't know why. I think my big one down here, that's bird poop. There is like maybe like some watermarks like right in here somewhere. And like I said, I've tried my absolute best to try and get rid of the watermarks, but I don't know why I can't get rid of them. If you know any, you know, techniques to try and get watermarks out that's better than what I'm doing, please let me know. Welcome back to the fish room build. So here's the thing. Yesterday was very successful. If I seem like I'm out of breath and sweaty, it's because I've been absolutely just busting my booty here trying to get the electricity done. So good news, I'm actually super pumped. I'll go ahead and just plug this in. If you go ahead and look up, boom. We officially have lights in the aquarium room. I'm super stoked, actually. I'm very happy. I think I might run one more bar on this one. I just didn't want it to be like, because I'll take my glasses off. It's super, super bright in here. Like, I mean, you can probably tell better on camera, but it's ridiculously bright. I don't want it too bright, so I might buy like a dimmer switch or something, so it's just not eye blinding. So I'm going to show you exactly what happened yesterday, and it's pretty cool. We're just getting ready now to cut all of our insulation to match our joists here. Now I know usually by building code they should be 15, and I'm pretty sure these do look like they're 15. They might be a little bit under from joist to joist, so obviously we'll just go ahead and cut the 7 foot that we need, because from the bottom of this joist to the top of this joist down here, that is actually 7 foot. So we have all of our insulation outside, obviously in package. Just got to cut the tags off to get the rolls unrolled. Then we got a tape measure here that obviously measures out from 7 foot. So put them beside it, cut, and we're all good. So let me just tell you, cutting this stuff was kind of actually a pain. I kind of feel like it was easier to have them flipped over, not with the cardboard or paper, whatever you want to call it, like facing up. If you were to push down on the insulation and kind of like spread it a little bit and then cut it, and the blade kind of went right through it. But we have 5, 10, 15, 20. So we have 20 little slabs. Now I think just this wall might be 20. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So this is 15. So for about $70, I can do one wall, roughly. So yeah, it's gonna look so good though. Like, it's not even about the money. It's just like I kind of wanted to gauge how much I'd actually need. I grabbed 4 rolls of 15 by 20 foot, just to kind of see how far I could get. But I mean, I might be able to get halfway here, and then I have like 6 little sections out on the floor that was kind of like not scrap, but kind of left over from cutting the 7-foot sections. So I'm gonna throw these up and probably get the plastic put up as well. That way one wall's done, so it's kind of exciting. But yeah, I'm sweating, it's so hot. Welcome back to the channel. I appreciate all of you that have watched the first video and the second video, so part 1, part 2 of this whole fish aquarium room build. The first video got like a K views, which is actually insane. So if you are from that video here now watching this one, I appreciate you. Everybody else that has subscribed, watched, and liked, and all that kind of stuff, and commented, I do appreciate it. I just wanted to give you a quick update on what's cracking here in the fish room. As you can see, we're getting all the insulation put in the roof. It's just been so hot here in Michigan, like the past couple of days. Like it's been like 110 out, and being in a barn that it has no insulation, no AC or anything yet, like it just radiates heat, especially from the roof. So hopefully when we get our insulation put in like above, hopefully it's a little bit cooler in here. I do have like, I've got like a box fan going, right now, and I have like a small little like turbo fan go. Whoops. So I just walked into the fan behind me, but it's nothing bad. So that's pretty much what's been going on, really, is just trying to wait the heat out and like trying to do like an hour at a time, because I'm sorry, but the heat is just unreal in here, and it's just painful. Like you'll be dripping sweat constantly. Like if you're working above you, it's like a tap, dude. It's constantly running down, and it's horrible. Like I hate working and sweating like crazy at the same time. So I'm gonna get cracking on the rest of the roof. Nothing really has changed apart from, I'm kind of tidying up a little bit to get everything out. I'm starting to move the tanks outside, which I'll quickly show you right now. My missus set up like, she set up like these little tables for me, look. She's got like these 2 tables. I'm just gonna stick all my tanks on these, and obviously have this project going as well. I'm making a table for the new deck. But, it's just so stinking hot. Like it's hot. Like I can't deal with the hot. I don't mind working in it like outside at work when I'm getting paid. When I'm doing this myself, like it's just horrible. So I'm gonna get cracking on the rest of this. Hopefully the next time we tune in, all the installation's in, and then we can start putting the walls up. Then we can get the drain put in. Then we can get the floor put in, and then we can start moving tanks, man, and start to build everything. And I can't wait to show you the designs that I actually have. I actually designed a 3D mock-up of the room. It's so cool. It looks amazing. So stay tuned. I'll see you shortly. So when you're dealing with the fiber kind of installation, I would always recommend wearing gloves or, a long sleeved. I'm kind of going against what I'm just saying, but I'm used to working with installation from my past job. So it kind of doesn't really bother me. But for someone who's messing with this stuff, these fibers will get on your skin and they will itch like crazy. If you do end up doing it like me, with obviously like a short sleeve on, if this gets onto your skin, make sure you take a cold shower first and then wash it off, and then take a warm shower, because what happens is when heat hits your pores, it opens up, these little fibers get in your pores and then causes you to constantly itch. Trust me, take it from me, bad experiences. Now, it's been a couple of days since I did like the rest of the insulation here. The roof's done. This wall's done completely. I haven't started on this wall or this other half, because what I'm currently doing is moving stuff around on my feet. There's so much stuff in here that I have to do, and I'm trying to prioritize the things that need to get done first. And obviously the insulation is most definitely the top of the list. So my work, we get giant pallets like every day. I'm talking like 16 foot long. We have like a stack of like maybe 50 at work. So the other day I spent probably about an hour after work cutting up these pallets and stuff and getting like decent boards out of it. Now, I was going to drywall all of this, and the only reason why I'm probably not drywalling it is I don't want moisture to get behind the drywall or in the drywall and cause mold. And I know you can probably seal drywall with paint or something like latex paint, and I'm pretty sure that will obviously, work to the point of sealing it. So I went a different route because A, it's free, it looks cool. I think the theme that I'm going with in this room is going to be obviously not normal. So I thought about doing like, a pretty decent, pallet wall here. And the other thing is as well is obviously this wall is not that much to cover up. So it's not going to be that hard. The only thing that's going to be hard is going to be doing this wall, which I'm not doing anything on this wall as far as like, you know, the pallets go. So I actually have this fake grass, and it's actually like it's actually kind of nice. I'm not gonna lie, like it's not like this terrible flat piece, like you have to put it on the ground and scuff it up so it kind of like, you know, gets pretty bushy. I have 2 rolls. I have one here and then one over there. The whole back wall of the arowana tank and the flower horn tank is going to be fake grass. We're going to probably put some real plants in here from the sides, from each corner. Might get some monsteras or something like that, or like a viney type plant. And I'm actually going to let the plant kind of like grow up on the ceiling when the ceiling is done and kind of droop and vine. And it's going to be kind of like a natural place. I don't know if plants like, you know, produce, what's the bloody word, moisture or anything like that. I don't know if it's going to help with the humidity in here. I do plan on putting an AC unit and a fan on the wall, and then obviously the other unit outside, and you just run the coils and the tubes to it. So that's where I'm at currently. This wall should be done today. I've got a lot more pallets to unload and cut up, but I just wanted to give you a quick update. Obviously, star of the show is my boy. How's it going, buddy? You the fish room puppy? He's a good boy. That's Mr. Rex. You like to chill in there and then just kind of chew on things that I have on the floor. I have a bunch of stuff, as you can see. I'm working like as hard and as fast as I possibly can with obviously work and stuff. I'm taking a vacation here pretty soon for a week, so I might come in there and kind of get some stuff done. But I just wanted to give you guys an update. It's slowly coming together. I just think the wall looks fantastic. Like let me change you here. It's going to look. I think it's going to look really cool. I mean, and plus the best part about it, it's free. Like you can't go wrong with free things. You can't. So I'm gonna crack on with this. Keep you guys posted. I'll see you soon. So what we were doing before, we were kind of test fitting all of the pallets behind us. Now I think I'm running pretty low on them, so I'm gonna have to go buy some more. I still haven't touched the other insulation on the other side because I kind of want to get this wall done, and I think the reason why is I want to see what kind of feel this room gives me when I walk into it, because either way, it's going to look cool and it's going to look really, really good, because obviously it's one of my passions and one of, like, you know, my biggest dreams to do what I'm doing. So I know that the insulation up top isn't a big deal because obviously I haven't even gotten the panels that are even going to go on the roof to hold the insulation in and all that stuff. So we're actually, like, I would say more than halfway done with the pallet wall. Now I did end up putting up one of the like little things here, the fake grass on the wall. It does actually kind of look nice. I still have to fluff it. I fluffed it a little bit. That's why there's like a bunch of like green stuff like all over the floor. But it's kind of getting like a little bit ripply up here, and I think it's because obviously I stretched it too much. When I was like kind of like pulling it, I would do this side and then I would screw it in down here. And then obviously what I would do is that I would go over here and I would pull it and then drill it in so it would stretch, so it wouldn't be so like wavy. It's not actually that bad, to be honest. Like, I'm kind of actually proud of how it turned out. I am going to frame this in with like a really nice 2x4, like fresh. I'm not going to paint it or anything like that. I'm going to kind of go around the border of it just so it kind of like seals it in like a photograph. You know, if you put a photograph in a frame, it obviously looks better. So I'm looking at doing something like that. It's just going to go on the side, on the top, on the bottom, and obviously on the other side, it's going to just look like a giant picture frame. And I might do something in the middle because, as you can see, it's not going to be equal. Like, if I get another one of these and then obviously put them like over here, you're going to have like a giant gap in the middle. So I think I'm just going to maybe add like some nice pine in the middle to kind of like center the wall, if that makes sense. I don't know, but as far as I give you an update, it's going pretty well. Now I'm literally just tying in this kind of stuff. When I mean tying in, I mean like, you know, finishing off, going from obviously here to the wall, here to the wall, and then obviously here to the wall as well. And then the next run is like all the way down here. Now I did kind of go a little bit weird when I was like doing this, because I know you're supposed to start from the top and just do a line, and then start from like the below the top and then do another line, but I ended up just going diagonal down and doing it that way. So I hope you're enjoying the build so far. I think we're actually I mean, I wouldn't say we're close to being done. I would say we've made a lot of progress in like this month. Like this month has been crazy, especially with me with working and stuff like that. But I still find the time to come in here, do some stuff, you know, and obviously work a little bit. The last thing I'm gonna do is the floor. We do have our floor drain here, and then if you see the burnt mark where the floor drain is, that right there is obviously going to be like the spot where we put the floor drain. I don't know if I want to stick with that circle one. I might kind of get like a 34-inch like long one and kind of do like a long like drain in the middle. That way I can kind of just like squeegee it in from like, you know, either the front or the back. I don't have to squeegee all the way to the center. I can squeegee it to the ends, and it obviously is pitched inside, so it'll kind of go and then go down and drain. So yeah, I hope you're enjoying the build. I know I am, so I'm gonna get cracking. I'll see you soon. The back wall is all done. It did take me kind of a while. I did actually end up doing something completely different, and I'm going to show you what I changed. So you were all thinking I was going to go from wood from this point all the way down. Okay, I did think about doing that, but I kind of wanted to bring some of the grass here. As you can see, I ended up you know, going past halfway down the wall and then putting grass in. So obviously this will completely tie into this wall, obviously over here. So I'm sweating, it's horrible in here. It's a very hot day in Michigan today. I'm trying to get the AC ordered so I can get the AC and heat unit put in this room. I still have not done, I mean, I've done kind of some of it. That's what I'm working on right now. I was working on putting some insulation up, but I just wanted to show you guys this wall. This is the back wall, and it looks awesome. And I probably didn't even tell you guys about the floor. So I got the floor put in, so now obviously there's no like what's the bloody thing called, particle board or something like that. I forgot what it's bloody called, but no more of that. The floor's in. I still have to do some trimming around the doors, but I got to get new you know, like the things, the tacks that you put down from where it goes floor to like living room, that kind of stuff, dividers, whatever they're called. So yeah, that's the back wall. This is going to be where the arowana is going to be, and then the flower horn is going to be underneath it. So it just looks phenomenal. Now, I saved a bunch of money doing it this way. If you end up doing something like this, do not be afraid to grab some fake grass. Make sure it's the, you know, the kind of like $25, $30 one. Make sure the back is the rubber, okay? Make sure it looks like this, because that is a great source of insulation. Now, behind this wall is obviously insulation like this, okay? So I didn't put anything over it before I put this. I literally just got the fake grass and I just put it up there. Now, I bought 3 of these, okay? 3 of the grass rolls. They come in like 7 foot, I think, by 6 foot or something like that. So what I ended up doing was, I ended up cutting it and doing like one side even, that side even, and then it left the line in the center is directly in the middle of this line, okay? So I kind of just had some leftover flooring. I ended up just putting leftover flooring in that gap because I feel like it looks kind of decent. Like if you come back here and we go ahead and turn around, it just, I don't know what it is. I think it just looks cool. These are old pallets. I just busted them up and then got a blowtorch and kind of burnt some of them with obviously the blowtorch because it looks really, really cool. I'm not going to burn that trim or that trim. This is also pallets too. So everything that I use in here wood-wise, as far as like framing and wall goes, they're all pallets. Like I've got pallets here, I've got pallet stuff over there, I got scrapping here, I've got one there. So for me, I did it really cheap as far as like trying to make a wall. I still have to do this wall, but this wall is obviously not going to take that long because obviously it's got a ginormous 2-door cutout and then a 1-door cutout. So this is obviously going to be the same as this side. We're going to do the pallet from up here, and then we're going to go down and we're going to end it with the grass. Now, I did cut the grass a little bit too short, but that's okay because we're going to be getting thicker pallets that are raw wood like the backside wall, and then obviously we'll put those there so you won't even see the joists and stuff. Now, you're probably wondering what this is. I'll tell you what this is. This is actually, I think it's like board something. Honestly, I forgot what it's called, but it's very flimsy. It's very shiny. Cheap way of doing a roof, you know, just sealing everything in. $9 a sheet. That is 7 foot. No, that is 8 foot by 4. So 8 by 4. I bought 10 sheets because that's going to be what I need for this, for the roof here. It doesn't need to be cheap. It doesn't need to be crazy. It doesn't need to be expensive. It just needs to hold the insulation in. I'm actually painting this stuff, and I've got foam over here, as you can see in this box, that's foam, because when it rains, it gets really loud in here. And obviously I don't want that. I don't know if the vibration can come through, vibrate the whole building and then vibrate the tanks. I don't think that's a thing, because you have filters and, you know, your filtration stuff going through the tank, on the tank, beside the tank, and that never obviously vibrates it. So I just wanted to go ahead and do something different. And then we're going to be making these into like skylights, I guess, like galaxy type things. I got to put a bunch of LEDs, like really tiny, like pin LEDs, and they'll glisten. And then they're like a meteor shower will happen and stuff. So when you come in here and we turn the lights off, you have like a meteor looking shower above your head. And then obviously you're granted by the 2 tanks over here. And then you're granted by the 9 tanks on this, and then obviously the 8 tanks on that wall. So this is what we've got going on so far. I'm so sorry I didn't do an update on the floor. My mum's actually here from England, and she's napping right now. She's sleeping. So I was like, I'm gonna come out and do some work, because I need to. But the floor's in and it looks great. Like I couldn't argue with anybody as far as like price goes. This was like $150. It's waterproof, it doesn't move, you don't have to glue it. You know, all you need to do is cut it to the correct, like, you know, length and size of the room, and then put some like wood or some trim down. You can like staple it. I think I did staple it a couple, because I stapled one side and then I went down here and I kind of pulled so it was tight so it wouldn't lump up. But you can move, and you can do this with your feet, you know, and it's not going to move, shift, or bubble or like bow up. So this is the ginormous update. The wall is almost done. That wall's done, and then we just need to get the rest of this up. You know, obviously that's what I'm working on right now. I have to get the rest of this put up, because this goes over the head, and then the ceiling is going up, and then it's so cool. I'm so excited. But I appreciate you tuning in. I'm just hot. This is taking forever. A lot has happened since the last time I did a short little video. I think it was the video before this. So long story short, my mother came over from England, and I was pretty, like, you know, I wouldn't say like tight on time, but obviously I wanted to spend time with my mum that I haven't seen in a very, very, very long time. So I kind of held off on the project just a little bit. Now, when she was over, she actually ended up, she's the one that actually bought the floor, funny enough. So the floor was bought by her. She got me a nail gun, right? Because let me tell you, sticking this roofing up was an absolute pain. It was annoying. I was like screwing each panel in with a screw, and you'd put pressure on the screw and it would bite and then it would just fall out. So she ended up doing that. Obviously, she said it was to make up for like all of the missed birthdays and all of the missed like Christmas, you know, days, all that kind of stuff. So she kind of spoiled me a little bit. So I just wanted to talk about a couple of things in this video, and we'll then just get cracking on everything else. The boards are actually going on quite easy. It's just very time consuming to put these up, you see, because it's just get down off the ladder, get more staples. I actually just ran out of staples. That's why I'm just kind of filming a quick little update here. So I would say from you know, this joist all the way down is actually completed as far as like, you know, the insulation goes, and the roof and the boards and the soundboards. Like, I think it looks kind of decent. Now this squiggly stuff is all going to be covered up, because we're putting obviously the fake vines, and then we're putting fake plants up. I'm going to try and probably put some real plants in the corners that kind of droop down. I might put a couple, not a couple, but I actually might put like maybe a 30-gallon here, and then a 30-gallon over here, just in case, because you know me, like I said before, I'll probably breed the arowana, so I can obviously get some more arowanas and maybe sell them. I don't know. But if I can have 2 tanks spare that's just being filtered, that's ready to go. If I can use one as like a sickness tank, or use one as like a breeder tank in case something does end up laying eggs and it does, you know, having fry. As far as the soundboard goes, you can kind of see where I stapled them. Like I said, you're not really going to see the staples as much as you think. It looks rough, but you know, this build is actually on a budget, so it's not that I'm paying like thousands of dollars. I think so far at this current stage, with the board, everything in here throughout the whole videos that I've uploaded, I think out of pocket I might be on 500 bucks. And to me, 500 bucks to finish a structure that was just sitting in your yard, that was completely just kind of like not really being used, but maybe mainly for storage, and just getting some life out of something that's just been sitting there. This is a huge success to me personally. I can't wait to get the backboards on for the soundproofing for the side, and then obviously putting the board up here to seal that in. This is obviously still exposed because I've been so concentrated on all of this. I don't know why I do things the way I do. So I should have just kind of done all the walls and then worked on the roof and then worked on the boards. But I ended up doing like floor, sides, floor, roof, tank. Like, should have I built the tank stand already? No, but you know, like, you get really excited when you're in the closing point of everything being completed. You just, I don't know, man, you get excited. So the tank stand looks decent. I know in the previous video that you just saw, I said those were 2x4s. They're not. They're 2x6s and 2x8s. I'm sorry, I kind of get my math mixed up sometimes. I'm not exactly the smartest cookie. That light obviously isn't going to be going there. It's going to be going up top somewhere. I did notice the back of this tank is a lot better than the front. If you can kind of see like all those scratches, look. There's a lot of them. So my missus said, that's the last time I'm moving this tank, and she's probably going to be mad at me because I need to get this tank and spin it around because I want the nicest panel of glass that's less scratched on the front, because the last thing you need is obviously a light being up here and then you seeing like all of these scratches. You know, it just doesn't look very well. And I don't think there's actually that many scratches on the back wall. I think the front is obviously the absolute worst, to be honest, but we'll see how that goes. I still haven't done anything on this side. We're literally right now just focused on getting the roof up, because then I can complete the roof, be done with it. And then obviously that's the hardest part, because the roof is in fact the hardest part to put up. It looks rough, like I said before, but it's done on a budget and we're going to make it look decent. We're going to be getting an AC unit. If I haven't spoke about the AC unit, I was going to get a window one, but I thought no, might as well spend another $100 and get the unit that I can possibly put on a wall somewhere. I don't quite know where I want to put it yet. I don't want to put it above a fish tank because it could possibly cool it and lower the temp of the water. Now, I know that I said that I was putting the sink in the middle, or I might not have said it, but the lady was like, you know, why don't we put the sink in the middle? Because I don't know what I'm doing, but I have two 50s, right? So I went through my tanks, I measured everything. Obviously, these are the 50s. That's a 55, that's a 125. So I have one more of these 50s that I think I might not use for this wall. I might be getting like 6 75s, I don't know yet, or I might just buy like 2 more or 4 more 50s and then do a rack of 50s right there, because I feel like a 50 gallon's a pretty, you know, decent sized tank because of the width. So like my angelfish or like my chidlet tank are gonna have enough room because I don't really get that big. And then I have like a 90 gallon outside that there's a trim. There's like the trim on the sides here. On the 90 outside, the left side trim's kind of not there. So I have trim on the front, back, and the side, but the left side is gone. So I don't know if that's going to affect the tank at all if I use it without the trim. So I'm going to have to try and find some trim that is similar to the trim on it, just so I don't, you know, make the weight of the tank off and it could blow out and break. So the plan is to either get 4 more 50s and do a rack of 50s, or get like 4 75s and do a rack of 75s. The tub is going to be going in the center of the 75s or 50s, and then the beta tank. So we actually do have almost all of the beta. I think we have like 9 beta tanks. They're 5.5 gallons. Obviously, now I'll put a divider in the middle. I feel like, you know, 2.5 gallons, I feel like is a lot for a beta fish because people put them in really small tanks. I don't like that. Like, we have a beta fish inside in a 20 gallon just chilling on his own, like with the eel actually. So the rack's going to be going over there, and over here, I don't know what I want to do yet. I might put a sofa, not sofa, but like a nice little lounging chair or something with a table. In case I've had a long day at work, I kind of want to hang out. This wall, well, not the wall, but the garage door is not going to be used. Now, I'm trying to figure out if I can build a tank stand here. Because if you think about it, now, these windows, not the windows, but like these things right here. Let me try and get my tape measure out for you. These like little gaps, I think they're about, 4 foot, roughly. Maybe they're like 3.5. So these are 3.5. Now, if you think about it, if I actually was to make a tank stand for this to kind of close it off, but not, you know, close it off completely, it would look kind of decent. You know, I mean, could you imagine if I did like a ginormous stack of 8 of whatever tank is 3.5 foot wide? I'll see here. Let's see if these 50s. So these 50s are 3 foot. So I think a 75 would actually look pretty decent. So maybe I will end up building a tank stand here where I can do 4 75s. Obviously the bottom one right here, obviously this wouldn't be the tank. This one, and this one, and this one, they will be the tanks. So I thought that would be kind of cool. That way I can have more fish in one room and use the space to my advantage. But I'm going to get cracking on the rest of these. I hope you're enjoying the series so far. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead, like it, let me know what you think. If you don't like it, let me know what you don't like about it. Give me a thumbs down. Just let me know some improvements that I can make that will make you, tune in more and appreciate my build. So I appreciate you guys. Have a good day. Got some bad news, but obviously news that we can't fix. So I guess I thought I ordered way more than I thought I needed. It turns out I didn't. I bought like 200, and it just blows my mind that there's already 200 soundproof panels on this roof. I don't know. It was insane. Like, all my boxes are empty. I've got none left. So now, while we wait for more of these guys to come, I guess I'm actually gonna have to just continue putting this up. This is obviously what I have been doing. I've just been nailing this stuff to the wall. There's gaps and stuff in the middle, but there's one way that I did actually make a solution for that. So obviously some of these boards aren't straight. You can kind of see the plastic that is over the insulation. I actually ended up just kind of putting, like, mixed pieces of like wood over those gaps to kind of give it more of a depth, because there's going to be a lot of stuff going on this wall anyway, so you're not really going to see that much. But I'm a perfectionist, kind of, to an extent. This obviously isn't perfection, and that's not to perfection, but it's stuff that I couldn't avoid. So I'm going to have to obviously chop up more pallets and then add, like the 2 little 3-inch wooden pallet boards over the cracks and stuff like that. It started out, when I was doing this wall, it started out relatively decent. Like, there wasn't hardly really any gaps. And then I started to kind of put these over here so it wouldn't look so silly, because over here we have a bunch, because this wall's made out of like 3 different pallets, but they were almost kind of the same size. I mean, if you look at this pallet board, it's a lot thicker, and then the one next to it's kind of like a little bit smaller. So I'm trying to add more wood to the wall to kind of make it look like there isn't gaps, but you guys know there are gaps because I just told you. But on this wall, this probably took me, I don't know, like 20 minutes, just nail gunning, bap, 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 and then it's done. Obviously right there, you see there's a gap, but obviously we will cover that up with the smaller boards. These boards, these are actually the smaller ones. I'm gonna have to cut around this, because if you look at it from this side, obviously it hangs over. We're gonna try our best to get my Sawzall and kind of just cut flush with it. And then I might just go ahead and get some like black trim or something that goes with the floor, goes with the tank stand. I'm going to try and do just like a border around it so it doesn't look that rough. The same goes for the window and then the other door. So over here, the wood actually kind of came almost flush with it. But I'm still going to go ahead and put something on the inside here so it boxes it in so you don't see that. I'm trying to make it look as good as I can without breaking the bank, hence this whole build. I mean, personally, I feel like it looks fantastic right now. I mean, the wall is just 3 pallets, and it gives this room such an awesome feel when you walk in, and I can't wait to get the roof done. I'm gonna get cracking on with this. Hopefully the next time we tune in, we have got it to the halfway point to where we can start adding the grass on this side. I'm done. I know every time I do like a new clip here, I'm like, I'm done, and I end up not being done. So I lied. I'm not done completely with this wall. I am in fact done with the window trim, the grass in the center window, and then I'm working on the door frame right now. I just wanted to show you guys how far I've come since the last time we just kind of switched the camera around. So I'm gonna start burning. I just wanted to show you this real quick. So what I meant by when I'm adding the trim, as you can see, it's not exactly like the straightest. So obviously I'm gonna get some more deck board, and I'm gonna put deck board here, and then obviously trim it so it's the same size. So you won't actually see any of the edges as far as like, the trimmed pieces go. Now, if you're wondering how I burn stuff, I mean, anyone can do this, like anyone. It seems hard, but it's really not. Personally, for me, I like to do the tip of the flame, because if you don't do the tip of the flame and you do this, it immediately goes dark, and you don't want that. Like, you want to gently get the edge of the tip, and you kind of just want to go up and down, especially like on like the trim pieces here. Like, you can kind of see like the dark forming right now. That is exactly what you want. You don't want to go overkill, but you want to follow, like, I don't know what it's called, maybe like the grain of the wood. That's how you get the stained look. Now be careful if you're doing this and there's something behind it that can catch light. You do not want that at all. So that's pretty much what we're going to be doing. We're just going to be going around giving it, like, you know, a different little look, because we don't like raw wood in the fish room itself. So I'm going to work on this, and then we will touch base here the moment I get done with everything. And when you're done, you should have a similar product to this. Now, the key of burning wood, especially like fresh wood like this, you've got to make sure that you like get heavy on the grain that you can see. Like if you was to look at a normal piece, like right here. So let me just put this up so you can see it. Now these lines are going to burn way quicker than anything else on here, because that's the grain of the wood. So I threw that, but the grain of the wood's always going to burn quicker and better, and that's how you get your little patterns in the wood itself. Now I went light on this because I have the grass there and I don't want to burn the grass. I had a screen window that I had to take out, but the sides and the top are all finished, and this one is classed done. Now, like I said before in the previous video with doing the epoxy on the walls, they all will get epoxy too. That's just, you know, my clarification that it's sealed and it's good to go. I still have a couple of like little areas here, like there, and I think right there, that I have to cover up with the smaller ones, but it's pretty much almost done. I mean, I just got to put insulation in those two walls. I got to do the roof like this. I can't obviously do the panels yet because the panels are on order, but the room is honestly almost done. Like, I'll give you a quick little tour here. Obviously, then this needs to get done. I gotta do something about this because this gets really hot and it just radiates heat. So I don't know if I can get the pink panther board and kind of cut panels out to put in there, and then maybe seal it up with like the same stuff that we used for the roof and stuff, to see if it will kind of like reject some of the heat. But that's the side, that's the back wall, and obviously this is the right wall. So I still have to get more grass for that. I used the different colored grass for the other side, because this was actually perfect size just for this, and I think I do have enough grass to get this side done and then a little side down there. That is obviously that piece right there. That's the bad piece. We don't want to use that. It's too small. It's like maybe a 1.5 feet long, so I don't even know how that got there, but it is looking fantastic. It is just, it's looking great. I can't wait for it to be done. We got all the way over here though, remember, with our foam board, so we just got to wait for more to come in stock, and then we're good to go. And then when this room is completely done, next step would be to put the drain in the floor, sink running water from the house out here in PEX, and then installing our PVC pipe that's going to feed all the tanks. But I don't think I'm going to do the PVC first. I think I'm going to at least get the water in here and stub it off, or get the sink in here, and then obviously make sure that the main valve's off to it. When the tanks are all in place and all built, then we can start running the PVC pipe along the top. That's going to feed every single tank, as well as the air pump too. That's obviously all going to feed all of the tanks as well. I just found a steel. Now, at your hardware store, you can pick these up, okay? So I know what people are probably going to say. That's plastic. It's going to be terrible. Like, it's going to be wonky. Absolutely not. If you know what you're doing when it comes to weight capacity on all of your tanks, especially like a 5.5 gallon fish tank, filled, it's like literally 8 pounds. You know, I just stood on this, like, and I'm 200 pounds. It didn't even move. Now, it obviously is, it's wobbly, right? You know, because obviously there's no weight on it. You can also get some clips. Obviously, there's joists behind here. Luckily enough, these lined up to the joists in the wall. So I'm actually going to be going and getting some clamps so I can clamp each section to the wall. And then I'm going to stick a screw on the side of here that goes into the plastic legs, just so I know full well nothing is ever going to come out. So I ended up getting two. They were like 12 bucks each. You can't lie. Each shelf holds 100 pounds. And it's just, you can't beat it. So, you know, the back of the room actually looks quite, you know, pleasing. So my beta tanks are going to be going on this back wall. I would have liked to have at least one of them start on the second shelf and then go up. So I might actually have to build a platform, because I feel like putting a tank on this bottom one it's going to be kind of a little bit, you know, crappy because it's really low. I might just use the bottom shelves of both fish tank stands as supplies, food, filtration, all of that stuff. I don't quite know yet. And then obviously my tanks are like 17 inches wide. They're only 5.5 gallons or 6 gallons, however you want to say it. So the plan is for that is putting a 5.5 gallon here, putting a diverter in the middle. So obviously you can have 2 betas per tank. Hopefully we can get a male and a female in the same tank so I can just remove it. Maybe they'll breed, maybe they'll lay eggs. That would be great. Obviously I've got enough room in this building to, you know, do some breeding and possibly sell some betas along the road. So it's coming together slowly. Like I said, these things are like a steal. Let me move this out the way. So I'm currently actually going to be working on getting the 55 in place. I actually measured the tank wrong, and I built the tank stand a little bit too wide here. Now, as you can see, this is sitting on the floor, and I maybe have like a 12-inch gap from obviously the top of the tank to the 2x8. Now, most of my supports are actually on the L legs. If I do this, most of my supports are on obviously these two, those two, the 2 in the back, and then the 2 over there. So I can actually go ahead and notch the 2x8 that's on the bottom, maybe halfway down, 4 inches, and then come across and then notch it again, or completely cut it out. I don't quite know what I want to do yet. I don't know if I want to waste that much wood and all the hard work that I did putting it together and then end up just kind of, you know, cutting a ginormous chunk out of the bottom of the stand. So I'm still trying to debate on what I want to do there. Like I said, I might notch it and then just kind of put like a couple of 2x8s in the center. Obviously one here, one here, one here. It's pretty much the same as the support underneath here. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is down there. Might do the same on the bottom, just so it kind of gives it a little bit more strength, I guess, to holding all the glass and all the weight of the water. The 55s don't really weigh that much, so that's not my main concern. My main concern is the 125 that weighs like almost 1,000 pounds full. I know this tank stand will 100% withstand the weight of the 125 and the 55. I just want it to look decent, so I'm probably going to go ahead and just notch the bottom of the stand out so I can have at least, you know, 12 inches of clearance, or maybe 10, because you got to get your your cleaner in there and your vacuum and all that kind of stuff. Excuse you. Hello? That's rude. My dog. My little puppy's a pain. So that's the plan. That's what it looks like. I think the betas beside the big main attraction is going to look absolutely awesome. And then at some point, I actually might put some betas up on the wall. Probably do like a racking system. You know, it's just 8 pounds is nothing. Like, you could literally fill up 3 beta tanks at 5.5 gallons, stack them on top of each other and carry them. Like, it doesn't even exceed 45 pounds. And these joists will obviously hold more than that, because I know they will, because I built it. So the studs are probably gonna get drilled into at some point, and I might add like a DIY shelf, maybe get some really pretty like red, white, and blue betas and put them above the arowana tank, you know, because at the end of the day, I'm in America, red, white, and blue, right? I'm British, red, white, and blue. So that's my plan, is I think I might do a red, white, and blue tank above it with some red, white, and blue, you know, beta fish. So that's my update so far. I don't know, I forgot, I don't know if I showed you guys the finishing product of the framing of the window and the framing of the door. Honestly, from this point to this corner is done. From this point to this is done. Like I said, previous video, I still have to add the grass in here and then put the insulation on the side and then add that. But I just wanted to show you the progress of the back of the wall. I think it's going to look fantastic. So I'm going to go grab the tanks. I'm going to set them on there. And I hope you guys like the way it looks, because I hope it looks good. It is very hot in this barn. I'm thinking it's probably, at least 90? No, it's not. It's like 80. And then obviously that is bad right there. We kind of need that like in the 50 range. But I think when we get the humidifier and the AC it will put in, I'm pretty sure then we'll be fine. And that will be comfortable, like wet or whatever it is, or ideal. So it's done. My tank, the ladies' tank, on the same racking system. As you know, I left the wood exposed because I think it looks best. That tank's really not even resting on that 2x4 in the front, because obviously I put the supports in there where you can see them. As far as this goes, like, this is brand new, this is pre-owned, and obviously you can tell what tanks are brand new. Like, we've pretty much got all brand new tanks. I think the only pre-owned ones are my 125, my 250s, and a 90 out there, which I'm probably not going to use. We've got a lot of stuff that's kind of just like, you know, here in the tank. I do need to clean these badly, and I feel really bad because it's just heavy. This tank's very heavy to move around, and I probably should have waited until like the end of the build until I did all of this. But as far as like cleaning goes, I think I'm just gonna go in there with like a sponge or something, and some vinegar, and clean all the sawdust and everything. Obviously I'll vacuum it out first, and then get my little blow torch, or not a blow torch, but my little blow cannon on the air compressor, and I'll just blow everything out. And then I'll stick a filter in there that I'm not using. I think it's just gonna be one of those like well ones or small ones you can just put in there. I'll clean it and just have everything kind of like shoot out, and then I'll put water in it, put the filter all on it, and then everything else, and then Bob's your uncle. It's done. But I'm super stoked with this. I did have to cut, I don't even know where the piece is, but that's a lot of wood. I had to cut out all of this to get the 55 to fit under there, to the point like where you can, you know, stick a gravel vac sideways, you know, like sideways, and then stick your hand in and kind of vacuum. So I do believe the eel's not really going to be like, you know, having their water level up here. I know my arowana won't be. My arowana will probably be like down to here because it doesn't need a full tank. If it gets, you know, if it gets all the way up here, then obviously he's more than likely to jump. And we're going to try and minimize that as much as we can, because I've had experiences in the past where I've actually lost my prize arowana. He was about 1.5 feet long. And he ended up jumping out the tank when I was on vacation. It sucked. I came back to him not in the tank. He was actually on the floor. I buried him. I cried, you know. But anyway, the plan is to have this tank almost probably 3/4 full, like probably like maybe like right here, just above halfway. And for people who are probably thinking, well, that's not enough water for the arowana, trust me, it's enough for the arowana. Like, they don't need a full tank. I've seen them in half tanks before. It just minimizes their jumping. Either way, they're gonna jump the arowana, but if we can minimize the, you know, that would be great. I'm gonna be making a lid for this that's like kind of made out of almost like aluminum. And then I'll have my lights in individual locations, because the last arowana I had jumped out. He broke like my plastic, and I don't want it to happen again. So I'll be putting cameras in here too. So it's not like I won't be able to see what's going on. I'm going to make sure I've got cameras facing all of the racks. Like, I'll probably have one like maybe up here, like facing all of this on the back wall. I'm going to put my motion on extra high just in case, because I don't want him to jump out. So that's the plan for that one. And then the eel will probably get a little bit more water in there, because they don't really jump that much as far as I know. So that's what's been going on, man. I've just been trying to get this tank stand built, and I'm super stoked with how it turned out. Next on the list is getting my 90 gallons ordered, my 75 gallon ordered. I was going to put the 450s on this wall. I think I'm going to do 3 75s here, or maybe 4 75s that I kind of stacked like from like this point up, and then I'll find joists. I'm gonna like bolt them to, I'm gonna bolt these stands to the wall itself, so they are completely structural. And then I think over here I might do a couple of like 290s or something like that, sink in the middle, and then 55s over here. But it could change. It's changed like a bajillion since I started this project anyway. So the next update will be getting these put in. They haven't got here yet. They should be here soon. And then those will probably be here like in the next couple of days. So I'm out. Appreciate you guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know. If you don't like it, just let me know. Dislike it. And let me know what I can do to improve my videos here on this channel. So have a beautiful day. The roof is officially done. It is 85 degrees in this building, and I am actually very hot. So I'm going to make this quick. The back wall's completely done. The roof's done from head to toe to bottom to side, whatever you want to call it. It is absolutely completed. I'm going to be hanging fake fern and stuff from the sides over here, because obviously real fern's not going to grow great up there because it doesn't get enough sunlight. These corners are going to be a pain in my butt to kind of seal and you know, put insulation in. So I'm going to leave that into the last thing that I got to do to seal the deal with this wall, with the insulation and all that kind of stuff. The back wall is not done yet above the 125 and the 55. I still have to get up there and add the rest of the panels. The back wall completely changed, and the idea of this room and the layout of the tanks has also changed. The final verdict for all of the tanks is what you're seeing in front of you. So this back wall is going to be the betas on either side, the arowana up top, and then obviously the ladies' eels and stuff down below. The 50s, I got 2 of them. They're going to be stacked here. The top of the tape represents the top of the tank, and then this right here represents the top of the other tank that's going to be below it. The tape in the middle is going to be the utility sink, where I can have like a dry racking system on the side, so I can wash my filters, let them dry or whatever. They can just go back into the plumbing and go outside. It's going to look like it's going to look really nice. I found a nice black one online, and it's going to tie in the whole theme. It's going to look really cool. Now over here, we are going to have 4 75-gallon tanks. Now they're going to be stacked. Obviously, I've never made a stacked tank for a 75, and this is actually the first time I even attempted a stacked tank. And I feel like it worked out better because the 55 is obviously smaller, and all I had to do was just add, you know, just some things in the middle, apply the 2x4 to the front so the sides will tie in with that, and then it was done, like, you know, sorted. I'm just nervous about doing the 75s because I need to probably sit down and draw and sketch, because if I build them the same way as this, obviously the 75 won't fit on the bottom. Like the 75 would fit on top but not the bottom, because we have these big support beams. So I'm kind of thinking, do I just like extend these out to the same length as here, and then I'll be fine, right? Because it's going to be the same diameter from top to bottom. I think, like I said, I don't know. That just worked out because the 55 was way smaller. So I'm going to have to really do some research on how to build a stacked tank for 75s, as the same as a stacked tank as the 50s too. So that's obviously all the blue tape on the wall. That's why it's there. It's just kind of marking me out mentally where my tanks are going to go. So we're going to have 75, 75, 75, 75. A nice utility sink, a double utility sink with a drying system. And then my 2 50s. And then obviously the 125 prize 125 of the room, because my baby arowana is going to be in there. I'm super stoked to get him. Can't wait. Now the back wall, this radiates a lot of heat because it's metal. I'm going to be getting like maybe a 2-inch thick panther board. It's insulation, so I'm going to stick them in obviously every single window, and I'm going to try and like board it off or something like that, or still have it be able to open up but close at the same time. If I don't want that and I want to seal it off, I'm going to end up actually building the arowanas tank. I'm going to be building out of plywood, and I have to buy another 125 to take the front glass and the back glass from that tank, and I'll keep the sides for just, you know, scrap glass. But the plan is to do a 12-foot long, 12-foot by, I think, 2-foot long tank. So the tank will obviously come from maybe like 1 inch or something before here. And it'll probably come out to like maybe just before the door frame. So I think like right here. And that's going to be literally 12 foot long, because he's going to get big, and I don't want him to be cramped up in the 125 for ages. Even though people might say arowanas need bigger than 125. That is absolutely correct. You just need the length and the depth. That's literally it. Like, you can have a 12-foot tank by 2 foot and he'll be fine. He's going to be fine. Or you can have like a 380-gallon that's going to be 4 foot by 8 foot by 2 foot or something like that, and then it's just a giant square and he has a diameter to swim around in. That's the goal with the back wall, because arowana, they just do this. They go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Like, nobody knows why. It's because they're a river fish, and, you know, they like to go upstream. There's like single streamed fish, from what I know from personal research and all that kind of stuff and knowledge. I'm going to get cracking on this up here, and then everything that is from the top up will be done. And then I just have to focus on getting the trim on the bottom put in. I don't know if I'm even going to put trim on the bottom, to be honest. I haven't quite figured out what I want to do with the trim yet. I feel like I need to, so it kind of seals the flooring down, because the flooring actually is, you can still move it. Like, obviously I can't grab it because I really wedged it under there, but the floor is technically not secured down. It's only secured down over here because of the tanks. So what do we have? We have the rest of this to do, the back wall installation, the 2 tiny corners of insulation, and then the main door surrounding with the 2x6s. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to get busy on that, and then I think the next time we tune in, I'll probably be making the tank stands. It's like every time I start these videos, I'm just going to keep telling everybody how hot it actually is in this place. But speaking of how hot it is, this wall's looking pretty hot too, I'm not going to lie. So I ended up placing an order online on Amazon because obviously every fish keeper's dream is Amazon and the things that they have and the random bits and bobs they have. So I think this is like the best $11.50 I've ever spent. Now I'll show you. I bought a ton. Bear with me, bear with me. Bought a ton of these. These are like fake vines. Fake vines. And when I spin this camera around, I feel like you guys are gonna like with the kind of theme that I'm going for here. And I had like a couple of other fern looking things, they're really small. I ended up just using them and just kind of bunching them up and putting them in the corner. So let me go ahead and end this, spin this around, and you guys are gonna like it. Ta-da! Best like $11 and something I've ever spent. Now, these are gonna be kind of obviously like how they are. They're gonna come down from the ceiling like that. But the idea was for the side of this to be like a bush, right? Or some sort. And it's just gonna kind of grow up and over. And then obviously I have these. And I have this side as well, which is pretty much mimicking exactly that side over there. Over here, you can't really see it because I've got like some siding up there, but I got to remove that. Kind of did the same thing up here, kind of just stuck it up there. But both of the back walls are now completed. Now I'm on finishing touches with making this kind of look a little bit more, you know, overgrown and all that kind of stuff. So that is the update so far. It's going so good. Like, it just looks awesome when you walk in. I think once I thicken it up, because this is going to be going along the whole thing. It's going to like intertwine throughout the whole room. So, like I said, Amazon, you're the best. Well, PetSmart just had a massive deal. $74 for one 75-gallon tank. We just bought 5. That's pretty much what's been going on here in the fish room. It's a lot of bits and bobs. I get sidetracked and I go from one project to another. It's crazy because the thing is, I get excited about certain things, but now that we have the mini split here in the AC and I'm actually able to have AC in here and work and not sweat, because it is gruesome working in here, like absolutely gruesome. And like I said before, I don't mind getting paid and sweating when I'm actually at work doing plumbing, but when I'm at home, I want to be real comfortable and I want to enjoy the time I have doing the things that I like doing. And when you're sweating that much, it is honestly an absolute horror. So I will get the AC hooked up here maybe in the next couple of days, as far as running the electrical to the barn and then getting everything else hooked up that way. Not the barn, but the garage, sorry. So, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I really do appreciate all of you. It's coming together so slowly. If you want any information on the type of rack this is, just shoot me a comment or a message or whatever. You guys usually see me on Facebook doing things anyway, on the aquariums for beginners or beginners for aquariums or something like that. So if you have any questions about the rack, just let me know and we'll chat, and I'll probably end up just sending you the link so you can buy it. But that's it for this episode. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you soon. Welcome back to the fish room, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. So, huge progress. Oh, you just saw it. Huge progress here in the fish room. So, besides everything else that's been going on, I hope you guys enjoyed the how to build your very own double-decker 75-gallon fish tank stand. Now, I did realize that some of the measurements are off, but those were just my measurements. They could be completely different for everybody else, but that's just what worked for me. That's why I did it the way I did it. So I just want to show you how it looks. It's slowly coming together. Like, we finally have the 4 75s in place. Now, if you have been a part of this channel or you've been watching the recent videos as they've been coming out, and you kind of watched it from day one, you'll understand how exciting this probably is for me, and as well as everybody else who follows along with this build. I'm just so excited. And funny thing is, it looks so small in this room. Now this rack's up and the tanks are up, and I've got the other rack over there for like the 55 for the 50s. It just looks so small, and I feel bad because the beta fish are kind of in a corner, and I don't think the beta fish are gonna like it in that corner. But I'll spin this camera around. Y'all are gonna love it. Here they are, beautiful, right? Up on the wall, they look fantastic. So I just want to touch base real quick. Someone actually commented on something a bit ago about the wire here and the tube. So for you, I forgot who it was, but I remember your comment. what happened was I actually had this kind of running along the side, and then it dropped down into the sink here. It's obviously full of stuff, but ignore it. It ran into the sink to drain out the plumbing into the back, right? But for some reason, it was getting caught somewhere up here, and then like it was kind of like making like a drip loop, and then it wasn't able to push it through, so it actually built up inside the machine. And then it started coming out of the vents out the side. Like, I don't know why, but like it like literally destroyed the floor right here. As you can see, I don't know how, but I have some more of this stuff, so I'm probably just gonna cut a square out and lay some new stuff in there. But anyway, I gotta figure this out. I might go ahead and kind of just put it out here and then poke a hole and then a 90, and it will just kind of go out the side. This, obviously, I have to tie this up, maybe put it behind the unit instead of being right there. The lady was working on some vines here, as you can see, they're vining out from the corners. It's so funny, I still haven't done this, or the framing, or this. Listen, it's been exciting times here in the fish room. So I will get to that soon, I promise. It's almost done. I just got excited about this. Like, how can you not get excited? I mean, just look at it. It looks so cool. The only thing that I'm not a fan of right now is this. Okay, I'll be honest. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's this. Okay? Obviously, we're gonna fix it. We'll get it squared away. It's okay, because obviously half of it's still resting on this. So it's completely fine. Like, it's in there, it's wedged in there, it's all good. I had to do it to the back too, and the bottom. It's, for some reason, they didn't fit, so I had to make them fit. Yeah, so, I mean, that's the only way I could have done it, without taking it all apart. And I didn't want to do that, because it's not going to bloody fail, it's not going to break. Like, I'm very, very, very confident in how I built these stands, and I know they're not going to, you know, do anything, like, that's going to jeopardize the fish, or the tanks, or break them. Like, for instance, like, let's just go ahead and grab this level. So the tank itself is a little bit unlevel, okay? So it's like at the tiniest bit off. A couple of shims will fix it. I think this one is actually pretty dead on almost. That one is like honestly fine. And then you got your backside. That right there looks pretty good. So like I said, I've leveled them all out. Like, they look fantastic. They're fine. What I'm doing now is I'm actually working on kind of framing this in a little bit to kind of make it look like it's one thing. I thought about just putting a shelf right there. I actually was able to just move the tanks over to the left and the right, and I squeeze the 2x8 in there. So this can be used for, I don't know, food or something, or I don't really know, maybe a tiny little skinny tank for like fry or something. I don't know. We're like just getting out of hand now. So this is just a mess over here, but we'll obviously figure that out at a later date. So this is where the ladies' 50s are going to go, and I know I can probably make one that's a little bit smaller, because the 50 gallons right here, you know, it's like, where's my tape measure? I don't even know where my tape measure is. I just had my tape measure, and now I don't know where I put it. Anyway, I think they're like 3 foot. This is like 4 foot. So I got 12 inches of room that's not being used right now. So I'm trying to figure out like the best way to go here, because the betta fish in the corner, there's like, you know, they're just going to be in a corner, and I'm going to have to like squeeze through this tiny little gap to get to them. Now, bearing in mind, like, don't get me wrong, like, this sink could come over a little bit more. Like, if I just move this over like that, and then like move this over like that, found my tape measure. You know, I mean, it opened up a little bit more room, but we don't really need a 4 foot stand for like what, a bloody, like a 3 foot tank. 3 foot is like right there, and look at all the room. That's like that right there is like touching it. So 3 foot is like right on this, like, so right here, from that corner to here is 3 foot. Like, that's 12 inches of room just being wasted. Now, I got to talk to the woman. I don't know what she wants to do. Like, maybe we'll keep that, you know, maybe I'll put that over here, you know, or something. I don't quite know. But since I've gotten that out of this corner, it does feel a lot bigger when you walk in. Like, it actually feels huge, because this was sticking out a lot further than that. Now, come to terms with it, I'm gonna have hang on the back filters. We got like the 110 Aqua Clear hang on the back filters. I was gonna go ahead and do canister filters on all of them, but that's just so much work. I would rather have a filter up top that I could possibly just go ahead and pull the basket out, clean the like, you know, the media and the biological stuff, pop it back in, be done. It will cycle all over again. So it's kind of like, I don't quite know how it's going to look when because obviously my hang on the back filter is not going to fit like back here, you know, like look at the size of this gap, like it's not going to fit. So I'm going to have to bring the tank stands out just a smidge. I don't know how deep they are, and I don't know how much back is on them. It would have been nice if I could have put them on the side. Now I can put them on the side of the top of the tank, but down here, obviously, it's not going to fit right there. So I kind of got to figure out what I want to do with the situation, really. I would really like them to be on the side, so, you know, the flow of water is going the length of the tank instead of the width, but obviously a wave maker will help the what's it bloody cool, like the diameter of the water, where it's going to be going, like the direction, sorry, not the diameter, the direction. So I just really got to figure out whereabouts I want to put the things, to be honest. I really want to put them on the side. I really want to put them on the side, but I know I can't. So that is the update so far. I'm really glad you guys are enjoying it. Again, thank you to all the subscribers. I throw myself under the bus. The amount of times I have tried to do the start of this video with a good intro was insane. Like, I could just picture myself doing it over and over again and just adding the beeps in, and then the beep, and then the beep. Anyway, welcome back to the fish room, folks. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to check out this wonderful idea that I had. And it's on a budget, so, you know, we can't really argue that. Last episode, we talked about getting these 75s in here with the stands as well. Let me just tell you right now, if you plan on doing something like this on your own, get a wheelbarrow or something with 4 wheels that you can pop the bloody stands on, because it's quite a mission. It's like 100 foot back to the garage where the tanks and the stands were. Well, half the tanks, but all the stands were there. On today's video, we're going to be doing the autofill for all of the tanks in the room. That's including the 75s, the 250s, the 125 and the 55 gallon tank. I was kind of debating whether to do an autofill on the 55, but I don't want my lady to feel like she's being left out with something that I'm trying to design and make kind of to perfection. So I'm gonna spin the camera around and then we'll explain what's going on. Okay, so up next with the auto water filling system that I'm kind of trying to plumb in together. Another thing that's a bonus is, like, you know, guys know I am a plumber, so I obviously know what I'm doing. So I was debating about leaving it white. I ended up just painting it black anyway, and I did start, I think I started without recording, which is okay because I wanted to make sure that it was going to work and I wouldn't fail on camera. So what we have here, ignore that it's not straight, obviously. We have to, like, you know, lift it up, you know, and make it straight, because obviously that is on the pipe, and then this is also on the pipe too. So what we have here, we have a little system. I bought this online. It's like a replacement part for, I think it's like a vacuum hose or something like that. You can hook your vacuum hose up, something like that, and then you can obviously, like, tell it to suck and drain, and then you can, like, fill it with the same thingy-madoodle or something along those lines. We didn't use it for that, so what we used it for was, obviously, you have the water coming out, and then you just go ahead and twist this thing, and it comes out the side. Now, this is going to be fed into this right here. So obviously, you know, if we're getting ready to fill our tanks, you know, and I'm feeling the temp, you know, I'm like, okay, yeah, temp's great. Go ahead, give this a twist. This is going to obviously fill up all of the pipes that is located above all the tanks. And then obviously all the valves are going to be closed on the startup, obviously. So then we go around and we, you know, flick that valve. And then we come down here, flick that valve. And then there's going to be the same setup over here, flick the valves, they all fill. The only thing that kind of is poopy is I cannot drain the tanks at the same time, which is fine, because I think if you're draining like 2 tanks at the same time while working on one, I feel like if you get sidetracked or something along those lines, you might not exactly forget, but, you know, not pay as much attention as you should to the tanks that you're draining. So I'm okay draining one while cleaning one. That's kind of cool, but having them all drain at the same time while putting water in and cleaning them, that's just a lot, and I don't want to mess that up. So we're going to be coming across the top to probably around about here, like maybe to the right of where the AC lines are, maybe like a foot. And then we're dropping it down. If you guys didn't know as well, we did get the filters in. These are Aqua Clear 110s, rated for... What are they rated for? Honestly, I don't even know. 100, okay, so it's 60 to 110, which is fine. I feel like that's a cool, nice buffer because the fish that we're putting in there aren't really going to be producing that much waste, hopefully. So I haven't quite decided, but I know I want an angelfish planted tank. And we're going to be doing some aquascaping on probably all of them. I just don't want it to get out of control. So I kind of... not exactly lose interest, but get kind of frustrated with the amount of growth and everything like that, and then if it overtakes the tank, etc., etc. But I definitely want some angelfish. I want a nice, luscious oak or like, you know, driftwood kind of design with a couple of like, you know, big leaves in the background and some Java moss and what is it, some anubis and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, that's the plan for that. But we're talking about this. So it's going to go that way, and then obviously it's going to come around here. The lady doesn't want these tank stands. She's like, oh, we can use them for something else. I'm like, okay, so she doesn't want that. I was about to say she doesn't want those, but she doesn't want that. And I got to figure out where to put that. I'll show you why she doesn't want that in a minute. So she doesn't want those because we've been rather busy in the garage, okay? As you can see, there's wood everywhere, there's boxes, there's vacuums. There's a stand. So she wanted a little 50 double-decker tank stand. And I was like, of course, honey, you've got it, no problem, anything for you. So I ended up building this. I actually ran out of 2x6s, so I can't do the, you know, like the levels right here for those. I gotta wait. I have a 2x8 though, like, and it's just, do I just cut this down the middle and then just use it, you know? Because, I mean, 50 gallons filled isn't really gonna be that bad. So I honestly might just cut that in half and then just kind of do the stand in the center, the supports in the center, and then set that up there. There are gonna be middle braces going in the middle. I just don't want you guys to think that I'm not gonna build it correctly. I am. So that is why she didn't want the black tank, the black like casing stand out there. That's meant for a garage because she knows I can build tank stands like this. So that is what she's getting. Now, if it's windy, I do apologize, but I just wanted to show you this. So this is how we ran the water and the electric into the house. I trenched it all the way by hand, by the way, all the way to the barn. I actually don't think I even showed you lot the unit we got. Oh, the dogs have been digging here, lovely. So this is the AC unit that we got. It's like a little mini split. It's fantastic. I should probably put that cover on it because that is going to get exposed to weather. We don't want that. It's quiet. You can't even hear it run. This is the 90 gallon. If I have not shown you guys, as you can see, it's kind of in a pretty... It's in a bad shape. Look, as you can see, you can just rip this like right off. I might just take it apart, use the glass for a tank lid. I'm not too sure yet. Okay, so that's why she obviously didn't want this. I'm actually kind of glad that she didn't come down to think of it now, because it does stick out kind of a lot further than these guys do. And it's a lot wider, and it looks like it takes up so much room. So let me turn this on. Let me zoom this out real quick. So when you walk in to the fish room, it doesn't look like that much room on camera, but I mean, it's a fairly decent size 12. It's 12 foot by 20. So I was trying to eliminate it being crowded. And I feel like when we get rid of this tank stand and we actually put a wood one in, it's going to open up this pretty decently. Because the beta fish, man, like, I feel like the fish over here are not going to get that much, I wouldn't say attention, but I don't think they're going to get viewed as much as, you know, everything else in the room. So I might change that. I'm not too sure. I might change how the back of the beta fish tanks, I might change them. I might maybe do a little wall on either side of the window, but I wanted a couch there or like some sort of sitting thing. Anyway, we're getting off topic. Then when the lady's tank stand is in position, then we can go ahead and just repeat the same thing that we did with the valves, top and bottom. And then it's going to obviously run across here. And then I think I'm going to drop it. I think I'm going to drop them down over here just so it's not so crowded over here. I feel like this is going to be a really small gap. If we do end up keeping the betta fish there, it's going to be a lot of obstacles to kind of go in between and that kind of stuff. So I might put the valve over there. But I'm just trying to now figure out how we can do what we can do with the hose right here. Because the thing is with the hose, I have like an... where is it? Not those. Is it in here? No, it's here. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of prop you guys up for a second. So this is what we're going to be using to get the water from like the switch connect up to the PVC. Now all this is literally just 3/4 PVC pipe, and then this is obviously for a hose bib that you can screw in, or you can you know, put your hose on and put a couple of clamps on, something like that. I had that idea, or I had an idea where I would get, we call it PEX in America. I don't know what you guys call it in London, but then we have a PEX fitting. And what we can do is we can run PEX straight from this to the T that is on the main feed that goes up to all the tanks. So I'm not quite, you know, sure on how I'm going to put these together yet, but I am glad that we got something that we can just kind of screw off and screw on, just in case we need to move something. I don't want to hard pipe this part in with glue, because, you know, like I said, we might be moving stuff, or something might happen and we need, you know, we need the room or something like that. I don't bloody know, but I wanted something that would be a quick disconnect, and I think this is going to be the best option for that. And what would happen is we would just go ahead and put this in here, and then we would run, you know, a hose or something from here up to here. I'm kind of mad at myself that I did it this way. I honestly, personally, should have probably done like a 90. I might actually do that, to get a closed nipple and 90 it this way, and then come down and then go to it. Because I want to be able to disconnect this side too. And that's why I'm trying to figure out what the best option would be, because this is obviously a hose. You can fit a hose on this. It's just, yeah, I'm a little bit kind of like wary about how to do it. I want to make sure that I can quick disconnect it. And I'm an idiot because I'm pretty sure this thing actually, oh no, the whole thing's turning. Hang on a second. Apparently this actually does come off like this. But this still has to turn though. I mean, this is like a jet. Look at this. It's like a straight jet. No, we don't want that. So this, like, sorry, this screws right in here like this, and then I just kind of give it a couple of tugs right there, like that, and then Bob's your uncle. You're able to do the same thing that you just did. So yeah, I'm a little bit kind of wary. I'm still trying to figure it out. If you guys have any ideas, let me know. So my camera angle like is off today. I do apologize. If I could maybe get another one of these, right? Hear me out. If I could get, no, that wouldn't make sense. No, never mind. Yeah, it would. If I get one of the, no, it wouldn't. Do you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna make my own hose that is small. Oh no, that's not gonna work either. Man, I'm out of ideas. Anyway, we'll come back to that in a minute. Let's start running some pipe and, you know, get we need to get this completed. Let's get this completed, and then we'll come back to talking about how the bloody hell we're gonna hook this up. I got sidetracked. I'm sorry, okay? But I was excited. I think I am gonna cut this back to about here, and then 90 this way. And then I'm gonna obviously take this. Oh, yeah, well, it came out, but that wasn't supposed to come out. The hose was just supposed to come out. And then 90 it this way, and then just kind of have the hose kind of look like that, instead of being all up in the middle. But this does work. I just checked, like, it's just, there's just bob fittings on it. So I go ahead, run the water, make sure this valve's open, because otherwise it's gonna fill up and go everywhere. And we go ahead and close it, and then water should come out of there, like that. And that's obviously going to be our drain. I didn't really need that now that I know that I have this. But I didn't know, like, you know, I didn't know this was actually a thing. Anyway, let's get back to this. I didn't record everything. I only recorded, like, a tiny little section. But we finally got the autofill system. It's not really auto. It's manual, but we're going to call it an autofill system. So the autofill system on the left-hand side of the 75s here These are all plumbed. I'm kind of mad at myself, as you can see. I'm sure you can probably guess what is wrong with this picture. It was my fault. It was getting late and I was rushing, so the height of the two valves here are completely at different levels. Now, the pipe is level itself up here, so I only got myself to blame with that one. Like, could I possibly drop this down? I mean, I could do that. I could drop it down, but that means taking the piping back off the wall, and then obviously cutting it, you know. I actually kind of got these two almost the same. I mean, this is off probably by like 1/2 inch. That's off probably by 1/2 inch. Actually, no, they're both off. And that's weird too, because I measured them and they came out fine. It's just, if you look, this T is below this line and this T is above it. So maybe this whole room is just not level, because that pipe is level. Maybe I can just slide this down. I think that's what I'm gonna do. That way it looks the same. I mean, you're not really gonna see it. I actually think this might be a little bit higher up. I think it is. Not by much, but you know, by a little bit. So I'll probably end up, I know it sucks, is I hammered these in too. Like, I didn't screw them in like this one. I got lazy and just hammered them in. But that's done now. I'm actually probably going to put a small nipple in here with a valve and just close it and test everything. Because I'm kind of curious to see if it all works. I'm super stoked. We're gonna try it. Screw it. It's all completed. Up until this point, the ladies' tank stand that I'm building is built and painted, just waiting for the paint to dry before moving it in. Ooh, this is nerve-wracking. I am a little bit sketched here. So I believe in my plumbing skills. I think it's all gonna work. It ain't gonna leak. I just temporarily put something up there and I closed the valve. Now, first time doing this. Just gonna add the water. That valve's open. Just close this. Moment of truth. Oh, I'm so nervous. All right, it's filling. We're dripping from here, which is fine. Oh, we're leaking. We're leaking. Oh no. No. Whew. All right. So I wonder if I didn't glue that in by the looks of it. Let me re-glue this real quick, and I don't think we spilt that much water. I don't think. Let's check it out. No, that's fine. All right, let me take this out. I bet you I didn't glue it. I was very correct. That was not glued. But everything else was fine down here because the valve was closed and nothing came out. So re-glue that, retry it. So it's re-glued. Literally took me like 2 seconds. Sorry if I'm not good at camera angles and stuff. I am trying. I am gonna turn the AC off though, because we don't exactly need the AC on. Turn that off. Got my guard dog, look. Rex. Rex. Hey, buddy. The channel dog. Okay. Here we go. Round 2. Shut this. Turn a little bit on. Like I said, we're dripping from here, but that's fine. It's still filling. If you're wondering how to tell, you'd be able just to hear it. No! That was not... Oh my gosh. No. I am absolutely soaked. I need a hose clamp. Okay. So I ended up actually gluing this piece to this piece. So now this will actually just come out of there. I know that obviously water builds pressure, etc., etc. So we got to make sure everything is like straight tight. I just want to do another test. Okay, so here we go. Do a little bit of water, let it build up slowly. Okay. We're no longer leaking from here. I can move it around. We're good. It's still calling for water. I am leaking from the black piece right here, which is fine because, like I said, I haven't tightened that up. But it's leaking a lot now, and now it's starting. Okay, we gotta shut this off. Let's go ahead and open this valve back up. Let all the water out. Okay. So it looks like right now I'm just obviously having pressure issues, which is fine because, you know, this is obviously not connected. There's probably going to be still water in here. Maybe. No, we're good. Okay. So yeah, as you can see, it's pretty loose. So I think if I grab some hose clamps and put those on, they should be fine. But we should have water in every one of these valves now. Okay. Obviously that one's going to be empty because we just did that one. Let's go over here. Let's turn this valve. We don't have any leakage here, which is good. Nothing in there. I actually don't think the pressure built enough to get to these ones. Oh, maybe not. Okay. So that's good. I want to get it to the point where I can have them obviously closed because we need to put water in the system in order to do our water changes, right? But what I'm trying to get to here is I want to make sure the system is like completely tight because if it's sealed, it's going to build pressure no matter what. So what's going to happen is if I can get the pressure sorted out, I can do, you know, this change and obviously have the water running, but that's the relief point. So I don't think it's going to build that much pressure when I've got water actually going through a valve. So let me hose clamp these two, tighten these black nuts up, and then we'll give it another go. So I think this is like, what, attempt like 5. Whew. So I ended up just putting a PEX fitting clamp on here. I'm going to hold this. Like I said, I just want to see if we can get to, you know, each tank. That's pretty much, I'm just nervous that it's going to keep happening, you see. Right, slowly. Whew. I'm going to give it some beans. So I got that valve closed. That one's open. So it should come out of here. I can hear it. Okay, fantastic. All right, so now we're going to close this. Open this. Oh, sorry. Okay, so we're good. That's coming out quite decent. Obviously, I can up the pressure if need be, but it's currently trying to fill up everything. So we'll close this. Now I'm going to wait for this to stop hissing as much. It's getting to that point now. I don't know if you guys can hear it. And this fitting cut out. So by the looks of it, we just need to secure these lines and then it should not give out anymore. Let's go let all this water out. Man, this is turning. Oh, okay, it just came out of that one instead. Cool. All right, so I'm gonna leave them all open. I want to see if I can get, you know, 2 tanks or 4 tanks to fill up at the same time. I'm gonna put a fitting on this, and then we should be fine. Okay, final test, and then we're done. Like, and this should work. Okay, here we go. Closed. Crank it up. Now I left 2 valves open on the top tanks. I just want to see full blast if it would fill up both tanks at the same time. So I think the water volume here is obviously a lot stronger. So maybe if we dial this back a little bit, kind of let the other tank just fill up. So I'm going to slowly turn this off. I'm going to fill this pipe up with water and then I'm going to open it. And they seem to actually be filling, obviously this one's going to be faster because it's the closest, but we can still fill 2 tanks at the same time, which is actually kind of great. I mean, that's really, really hot. That's really hot. Now, I know if we just turn it straight to cold, it's gonna... Oh, sorry, that's just... Oh, no, now it's cold. Okay, so let's dial the hot on a little bit here. So that's not bad. Okay, so then say we want to do these guys. We'll open this one up. It's gonna stop the water from this one. And then let's go over here, close this valve, and then open this one. Obviously the water volume is way stronger right there, but I think, like I said, if we get the pipe full, go ahead and close it gradually. And then open it back up. I don't think the bottoms are going to fill at the same time. I mean, that one's kind of picking back up. I'm going to close this one completely. Okay, so that one's filling quite a bit here. Go ahead and put this up full blast. Filling exactly the same now. I guess it's supposed to do with gravity and pressure and something, because I mean it's filling, but I do need to fill this tank up more. As you can see, it is on level, so I think I'll actually sort the level out on the tanks while we have water out here, which is actually kind of nice. So turn that off, let that one fill up just a little bit. This one is actually almost level, as you can see, but we'll level out the tanks and be good. But it's operational and it's working. I am very excited. That just makes me nervous because that's not glued. I just don't want it to pop off. but besides that, I think it's good. I'm happy with it. Obviously we had a minor setbacks, but I think it looks decent. 3 empty 75s. An empty 125 that obviously the R1 is going to be going in. I just had to show some progress in here as far as like tanks go and all that kind of stuff. So we still have not done the water lines on the roof, and that's okay because like I said, it's just been insanely crazy in here with everything going on. Like you get one tank set up and then you immediately want to set everything else up. That's my own problem. I just get ahead of myself, and I'm looking at one tank in particular. So I actually live on a lake. It's private. No one has a boat or anything on this lake, like just we do. So no one's really in the lake ever, and because it's like a constantly flowing lake, this lake actually comes from Canada, funny enough. We get some really cool driftwood. Now I want to show you some driftwood that I found, and I'm just waiting for it to decide to sink because it's not sinking, and it's annoying me, and I don't know why it's not sinking. Why aren't you like sinking? It's not sinking. I can poke it down. It just wants to come back up again. I cut this in half, so as you can see, you know, like it's cut in half, and it's a pretty nice piece. Like I would say this piece, hang on, let me try and get it down. This piece isn't like as nice as the other one, but it just keeps like wanting to come up. So obviously this was like the back side of it. It just keeps wanting to fly up. This one is by far the best side because it's huge. Like look at the size of this piece of driftwood. It's like the bottom of a tree. So anyway, I found this. I couldn't get that rock out. Wouldn't let me. And there's like another rock underneath there. It wouldn't let me get this rock out. And I'm kind of getting a little bit upset. Not upset, but I'm kind of a little bit frustrated because I want this to hurry up and, you know, sink. So I was thinking, well, can I just like stick some rocks on it and just keep it weighted down? Maybe make it like, you know, waterlog faster. But it's just going to want to float again. Like 100%. It's going to float. It's going to keep floating. And I don't know how else to fix it. Look how level the tanks are. They look great. They look so good. Oh yeah. So the lady has some like feeder fish in here. They're like eating the moss off the floor, which is good. Like, you know, they can do their thing. But her tank looks phenomenal. Like I'm so proud of how she made this. Like she kind of went a little bit crazy with the glue, as you can see, like the Gorilla Glue right there. That's the stuff that you don't want to see because it looks white and it kind of looks gross. But besides that, it looks good. And like even if I like turn the light off, look, like let me turn the light off real quick. Wait for the camera to focus and all that good stuff. But it just looks. Look at how good that looks. I'm so proud of her. Like, it looks phenomenal. It looks fantastic. She obviously has some dwarf grass hair right here. She has the Anubis, and then she has some of her Java moss. Oh, it's not going to focus. Oh no, some of her Java moss just chilling on the wood. But I'm super proud of her. She loves it. Like I just cleaned the filter and stuff because it was been going for quite some time. And it's kind of getting a little bit cloudy and a little bit foggy. So we changed that, obviously. Let's go ahead and pop that back on. So the 125 is full. It's got sand in it for the arowana. Obviously, no light on it. We don't really need a light right now. I just wanted to cycle and everything like that. The 55 is also cycling as well. That's just clearing up because it was a little bit sandy. That's going to be a saltwater tank. That's why it's not set up at all. It actually is, funny enough, it's a drilled and slotted tank, if you was not known. And then I guess I'll show you this one. So right now, this is obviously empty. I don't know why I did this, but I did. You know, you get eager, you get excited, you just want to do everything. So right now, we got like 15 neon chatchers in there. They'll be staying in there. As far as all the power goes, this is obviously just temporary. It was just to get some tanks acclimated and started. I know I have the air pump just for this 125 and then the 50. That air pump will be going away because we're going to be getting one giant unit. And what's going to happen is we're going to end up putting, I think there's going to be a shelf in the back here, and then the air pump's going to sit on it, and it's going to come up and across, and it's going to like pretty much look like the PVC pipe. It's going to be black. Or I actually might keep it white just so I know what's what, even though that this one has valves on and the air supply won't. But the air supply is just going to be running off like 3/4 inch pipe all the way across. We're going to tap into it and then run the leaders down to the air stones on every single tank. That way we only have to use one outlet for one power source, which is going to be providing oxygen to this whole room. We officially have the ladies pea puffers. Now, I was trying not to stay in the frame. I was trying to like have you guys look, but these guys are ever so small. I mean, they are absolutely tiny. This is my finger. They're tiny, little tiny pea puffers. Welcome to the fish room. Now, I'm kind of nervous because they are so small. I don't know if this filter is going to be too powerful for them, but we're just going to kind of let these guys chill in the tank. I think we got 1, 2, 3. I think the lady said we have 5 in there. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about where I got them and the business name and the owner or whatever, or the people who sold me these. I'm not going to get into it because I don't really feel like they probably want me to, and I doubt it that people who watch this YouTube are even from the same area as me anyway. But they're super nice. I've shopped with them for years, like going back to like when I first got my arowana in like 2019, I think, or 2020, one of the two. So they're really cool. I love shopping there. Everything is just so fresh, and I've never had a problem with them. So obviously, I will always buy my fish from them. Now, I got more. Don't worry. So, the thing is about this plan is I actually asked this this gentleman what it was, because it looked so good. Like, it just looked really, really, really fresh. And it grew really long. So that's going to be going in, obviously, the angelfish build that we stood after Aquascape, sorry, not Aquascape. I'm being too British for an American channel. Aquascaping. I need to get that tank actually situated. Like, we've got neon tetras in there right now because it sounds really dumb, but I wanted to make sure the tank was fine, and the tank is fine. Like, these neon tetras are fine. We had, like, I've got ginormous feeder fish. I don't think you'll be able to see, but I got huge feeder fish in this tank, obviously, for the arowana. So when the arowana gets here, just pop him in there and he's got food. But the moment I get these guys in this tank, I need to feed them like immediately. The lady did tell me that they need to be fed. So we actually picked up some bloodworms and stuff too, but it was like $14. They grow super tall. Like, this thing is like maybe 18 inches tall. Like, it's actually probably taller than, I know it's not taller than the tank, but yeah, I don't know if I got to acclimate plants, so I'm just gonna pop that in there because I don't know. I'm not gonna lie to you. And then obviously we got some bloodworms. I'm pretty sure they're alive. They are alive. Oh, I'm holding this way too high. They are actually alive. I had no idea that they were alive. I don't know if I've got to acclimate them either, but I guess they're going in the tank too. She did tell me to put them in the fridge or something. Like, they're probably gonna die anyway because they're just tiny little bloodworms. They're probably gonna die. I don't know. But in here we also do have, like, the lady was awesome. She was like, "Do you have food?" I'm like, "No." So she kind of hooked me up, and I was like, "Whatever, man. I'm willing to spend the money because it's a passion of mine, and I like sharing it on YouTube. I mean, you guys have been with me from like the get-go with this whole build anyway. Like this room was completely an empty storage bin of a room. Like, I don't want to say bin. If my lady sees this video, she's gonna shout at me. But you know, it was just a complete empty room. And then obviously we got some frozen bloodworms too, just for those guys. I want to make sure that they survive and they thrive in this tank. We got a bunch of different types of driftwood. Now these are obviously, I was gonna like completely mess my words up. These are all gonna be upright. So we have like this one, kind of like a boot. I kind of dug that. I was like digging through this bin for the longest time, and they're mainly just all upright pieces because they're all gonna stick upright. This one was obviously like a boot as well. I thought that would look good. On the left and the right with the other boot one, again, it's long. Like they're all long. They're pretty tall, which is gonna look fantastic. I cannot wait to plant this tank. I'm so excited. I also have a mic coming as well. The mic should be here tomorrow. I actually bought this mic specifically for the live stream that I talked about yesterday. So making sure I didn't forget anything in here. No, I'm good. So yeah, that's pretty much what's been cracking. Everything's new. These guys are like really eager to get out. I gotta show you. They're really eager to get out. So as you can see, they are ever so slightly tiny. Like there are 5 in here. There's another one. Yeah, I actually don't know where they are. Yeah, they're right. Yeah. So I guess they're all in this corner. There should be 5 in there. But look at that. Look at that little face. How do you not love them? I'm so glad my missus picked some cute fish. I really am. But her tank looks great. Like, it looks awesome. I'm super proud of her with this tank. I know I say it every single episode, but it just looks phenomenal. And I don't think they like the light as much. I'm not too sure. No, that's my lady's, that's her little eel tank thing. They don't like light, I guess. But these are the feeder fish that I got. Obviously, they are actually kind of big. I mean, they hate me, but that's fine. They're probably going to get eaten by the arowana anyway. And then obviously we have, this is going to be the angelfish tank because I want it to be. I was going to say there's more to the story, but there's really not. I'm going to run and get the temp real quick on this tank. I want to make sure this tank is set. Obviously we have a heater in there, but I want to make sure that this tank is good to go before I let these guys out. I'm probably going to have to do something about this. I can turn it down, but I don't think it turns down that much. Like, they said that they don't like big currents. I don't think this is a big current. Like, if I just go ahead and move this bag over, like, it's not really that big, you know, like right there it is, but I don't think it's that strong. So that, I mean, they're tiny enough. They'll probably just chill down here somewhere, or something. I don't know. Like, we might actually have to get her a smaller filter just for this tank, because there only are pea puffers going in here, and some I forgot what the lady called them, but they're sucky little things. I forgot what they're called. I'll bloody find out and then we can talk about it. But her grass is growing really good, which is fantastic. The moss, I don't think the moss is doing too well. I don't quite know if that's doing good or not, but we'll do some research here. I mean, she glued them on, as you can see with the glue right there, but a lot has come off. And I think it's because we originally had those little things in here and they were tearing up the place, so I took them out deliberately. So yeah, I'm gonna go and grab the temp, make sure this tank is good to go. Today, and obviously if you've looked at the title of the video, and I'm sure you have, it will clearly say that we are making some aquascape stuff for the neon tetra tank and the angelfish tank. Obviously they're all in one tank together. So before I get into it, I gotta unbox the glue gun and stuff because we're gonna be gluing this together. So obviously we have a ton of slate that we bought off Amazon. Super cool. I kind of dig it. I'm not gonna lie, slate's really cool. So my plan is to kind of pile some up, right, like that. And then this is gonna be stuck completely up vertical, like this. So we're gonna be gluing these together. And I picked these out specifically because this kind of reminds me of like a tree. And I'm like, man, if I plant some, like, not plant, if I kind of get some moss to kind of grow on here and make it look really bushy, I'm like, man, that will actually look rather decent. It'll look like a tree. So that's kind of what we're going for, is we're gonna do a base and then we're gonna be gluing our driftwood in place pretty much like that. So let me unpackage everything. And I'm sorry, it's really awkward. I've never actually recorded like this before in my office. So I'm gonna unbox this and we're going to get cracking and get gluing. So I'll be right back. So if the camera angle changed, I am sorry. I wanted to just go ahead and change it so you can see more of like what's in front of me. Even though my head's cut off, it's fine, like it's all good. I don't even know how you even tell when these things are even like working or like even on, like I don't even know. But we've already stuck a hole. Oh my goodness, there it comes. All right, so yeah, we're good. We're good. Heat gun is officially warmed up and ready to go. The rocks are still like pretty hot from when I baked them. So I haven't really like gone through these at all. Like I want to keep the big ones for the surrounding areas. So I'm just looking for this to kind of hang out and kind of stay like in one area and hopefully make it look decent. Now I'm gonna try and hide as much glue as I possibly can because we obviously don't want the glue showing. And I am going to just absolutely just fill this with glue. Like I'm not gonna lie to you. There's so much glue that's gonna be going on these. I just hope I don't mess it up because that's gonna be super, super embarrassing. Now, I really hope this actually dries the way I think it's going to dry. Because, if not, I'm going to be a little bit screwed. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, it definitely looks like it's drying, which is great. Obviously, I can always throw sand on the glue, you know, so you can't see it as much. I mean, you guys know what's going to be there. But it's definitely gluing. But who knows how well the things are gonna stick together. I think I need a small one just to lock in that back area. I need to try and load this next one up with one hand. There we go. That stand is frustrating. Oh no, I got glue on the top of the thing. That's warm. That's really hot. Oh my, that's hot. Woo, woo, woo. Do not do what I just did. I just got glue absolutely everywhere. Okay, I'm gonna try and stick this one just like that. So it looks like it is drying a very white color, which is kind of nice because obviously our sand's white, so that kind of makes it feel a little bit better. I just want to make sure I don't make a complete mess because I don't even know if this is even stuck. Okay, it's sticking. It's actually sticking fairly decent. That does make me feel better. I mean, there's glue all over the bloody thing, but I'm pretty sure I can peel it off. But that is almost done. That is almost glued, which is great. So I think 100%. Oh no! I thought it was done gluing. Oh, it glued right through. Now, if this does get stuck to the cardboard underneath, I'm not too worried because obviously we can rip the cardboard off, you know. So I'm not too worried about that. I'm gonna go ahead and just move this out the way because a lot of glue actually did settle. But I think once the glue dries, I think it's actually gonna look quite cool. So I'm gonna just get gluing. I'm gonna glue all this together and then we'll check back pretty soon. So you know the drill. So the first one's done. I kind of put it over here. You can kind of see it. I'm actually kind of impressed. The glue actually stuck fairly decent. Obviously, if I move the whole thing, glue just like piles out the bottom, which is okay because we can just cut the glue and then it's fine. But I'm gonna get gluing with all of them, and I'm gonna use my glue. I mean, I've got 30 sticks of these, so I mean, I'm pretty sure I got enough. But I just don't want it to get too stuck to the cardboard, and then we got cardboard at the bottom of the thing. But I'm gonna get gluing, and I'll see you pretty soon. So there you go, folks. That is what we are finishing off with, and this looks really cool. I think this is gonna be like a centerpiece. I think this one's gonna be in the center, and then I'll maybe like scatter the other ones around. Obviously, it's a 75-gallon tank, so you have to be really very wary of where we put things. So I'm gonna let these cool, let these dry, and then we will go out to the fish room and we will get these in the tank. Be back in the fish room with our star guest, good old Rexy baby. He's like, I'm out, dude. Sorry, can't do cameras. So in this bucket right here, folks, we got all of the stuff that we just made, that you just previously saw. I put this one in, and it broke. And obviously we have Java moss all over it. It's all glued. I'm gonna put this one in last because obviously it's broken, and this broke off it. So I'm gonna set you guys up on cam, and then we're gonna start putting this in. Sorry, how bad? And then we're gonna start putting this in, and hopefully it goes good. I know I've got a bunch of plants already planted in this tank where the angelfish are gonna go with the neon tetras, and the plants look great. We do have a light on it now, so you can actually see what we're doing. So enjoy this footage. Hopefully it doesn't turn out to be a pain in the butt. So we'll find out. Now, I've never done this camera angle before, so hopefully it works. So I'm just gonna get all of these out. You're just gonna be looking at the camera right now. I just knocked some Java moss off. So we have like a bunch of small rocks here, with some tiny little driftwood pieces. Now I think I'm gonna put this guy in between these plants like that. I'm gonna lay all of this out on the ground so I can see it. Okay, so time for some bigger ones. Now I think I want the bigger ones in the back for sure. Man, I got some weight behind them. That's fantastic. Now I'm going to go slow with these because they've obviously got Java moss on them. And we also have some more slate to add in as well on top of that. This is going to come together so nice. We've got another kind of tall one right here, which I might put in the center, right near these guys. Now, there's obviously going to be Java moss floating around in everything, but I think that's quite okay. Now we definitely need one right here because there's like nothing going on here. Between the plants. That looks awesome. Now this one actually broke. I don't know if you guys can see this or not because I'm not looking at the camera. But this one broke, so I'm going to try and set this in a position where it looks like it's supposed to be there. Okay, so now we're going to go get some slate, so I'll be right back. Now this tank definitely needs more sand. I like the way it looks when these stand up. Like that does look kind of cool. I know when people like do aquascaping, or I don't really know if it's even classed as aquascaping, but they get really into it. And I know I am probably gonna be like that. Like if you see me go away from the tank and come back, it's because I'm looking to see what needs to go where. Mad Java Fern really does look good. I can't wait for that to grow out. It definitely needs to get more green. That's for sure. Now, I mean, obviously that's gonna come with time with all of the plants that we put in this tank, but I just gotta say, this slate is such an awesome color. That's a big piece. So where to put the big one? Oh, that's deep sand right there. That actually works out tremendously. Okay, so we do have some. I think it's called what is this called? One of the guys on the live stream, I forgot who it was. They told me what this was, and I only want a little bit from this. I don't want too much because this stuff gets really tall. And I definitely know this stuff gets everywhere. Like if one strand breaks off, it gets just everywhere. So go ahead and grab that strand. I only want some. I don't want a lot. I just want just some to fill some areas in. I just can't remember what they called this. If anybody knows what this is, someone on live stream told me what it was, and I completely forgot what they said. But this stuff's it's already everywhere. I know when I start putting this in, it's just gonna go into my filter. There's gonna be stuff floating and all that other stuff, which is okay. We don't mind that. But the cleanup's gonna be intense. That was a really nice green, long one right here that I want. That's the money one right there. Just trying to get all this dead stuff off it. Put that on the controller. Okay, so we got a couple. Let me go get my planters. Okay, so obviously we need more green down here because I don't really have much. Maybe I'll just stick some down there. I'm gonna probably put a rock on this one. I'm gonna just move that over to it. That's gonna have to go over. Why is that star? It's all coming undone. It's all unfolding now. Now, everything floating in the tank's obviously going to get sucked up by the filter at some point. And this is obviously all going to grow in. I'm kind of waiting for this plant right here to sprout some new roots so we can add more. That one actually came up. We need to replant that one. I don't think any of these have any roots. I don't think, but we actually should plant that one. Every time I dry my hands, we've got to like move something, or something came undone. So this is the tank, ladies and gentlemen. I am very happy with how this looks. I had a vision. I wanted to just go ahead and just do these nice upright driftwood pieces that are kind of not exactly super straight, but got some bends and some turns. When this Java moss grows in, oh boy, it's going to look absolutely phenomenal. It's going to grow up and down it. I absolutely love the look of it. Like just from a distance, look at that. I could watch that all day. I'm happy with it. The first time I've ever done any type of scape. Now, I don't know if this is classed as scape. I don't know, but it looks great. And remember, this is a 75 gallon, and it just, I am very happy with it. But on other news, this is the lady's tank. I know people on the live stream have seen this, but she went ahead and decided to do a pea puffer planted tank. And these pea puffers are absolutely tiny. I can't really focus in very well. I can try and find some other ones for you. But I think she did a phenomenal job. And she's never done anything like this too, you know. And obviously she went ahead and planted some moss on everything. Hopefully it grows. It's looking a bit brown. Hopefully it doesn't die. And then she has dwarf grass, I think, or some sort of grass. Oh, there's actually a little pea puffer right there. Oh, he went and hid away. And then she has her Anubis. Again, shout out to, I forgot who told me on live stream that the Anubis should be out of the sand, and it actually is. And I have noticed the growth on the tail end of it on the roots look great. Like it's really improved just from like the past couple of days. Neon tetras are settling in quite nicely. They're actually starting to explore more of the tank. They used to just kind of hang out in this corner, but now they're actually going in between the logs. They're really making themselves feel at home, which is great. I will be getting the rest of the angelfish. Well, not the rest of them, but I'm going to be getting the angelfish here pretty shortly. I at least want to get this tank planted and started before I even think about buying any other fish for this tank. We're going to try and knock one tank off at a time and probably make a couple of videos about that one tank in the process, so I don't miss anything and you guys don't miss out on the progress and all that kind of stuff. To cut to the chase, I'm very proud of this tank. Like I said before, this is my first time doing anything like this along these lines. I'm kind of upset because the Java moss, I think the glue that I used actually kind of killed it a little bit. So I know that when I was on live stream with Mexicali Fishkeeper, someone said they have a bunch of this Christmas tree moss, which I'll probably go ahead and grab off them. But I want to get another one of these plants and put that in a corner. I need to fill this corner in with something because it looks kind of bare. Obviously I have rocks over here, and then over there it kind of looks, you know, a little bit empty. But just look at the neon tetras, just absolutely just stunning. Very excited about this tank. The planted 75-gallon tank with the neon tetras is obviously due for their next line of fish. Now, when I mean due for the next line of fish, it's due for the new fish that I've been wanting to put in it. There is a bag in there right now floating around, acclimating to the correct temperature of the tank so they don't get shocked when they get into the new waters, right? For me, it's actually kind of a little bit nerve-wracking when I add new fish to any tank, because are they going to survive the night? Are they going to survive the next couple of days? Are they going to survive a week, 2 weeks, whatever? So I'm kind of nervous. Obviously, the tank is completely fine because the neon tetras are doing lovely. They're swimming around, they're active, they're eating, they're exploring the tank because it's new to them. Like, they're obviously all going to be okay. But the fish that I just bought in this bag up here, I've owned these once in my life, especially when I was a kid. So I've never actually gotten any type of fish like this since then. And I thought that these fish would be an awesome collection to this style of tank. Y'all ready to see it? I don't know if you can see, but you guessed it. We finally got our angelfish in, and they look fantastic. I mean, fantastic. So, I got one koi. The rest are kind of just like really unique looking. They were the most unique looking ones in the fish store, so I had to get them. There is one fish in particular that I had to grab. I'm trying to get him close to the camera. He has really long fins. He's actually over here. See, now he's moving around so I can't see him. But he has these yellow fins. Like, they're super, super long. You can probably see him like right there. Yeah, so he's like actually right here, up here. He has these awesome yellow fins, and they just looked great. So we're gonna get these in. They have been in the tank for a while. If you guys are wondering how I put fish in the tank, I can actually show you if you want me to. For me, it's the easiest way to do it. I don't like the pet store like water in my tank. Anyone and everybody, actually not anyone, but everybody should never just pour fish water from that local pet store or wherever you buy them from into your tank. Don't do it. So I'm gonna get the net, and I'm gonna put the bucket on the net just like this. Well, the net on the bucket just like that. And I'm going to open the bag up, and I'm going to pour the whole bag into this net. All the water goes to the bottom of the bucket. Fish stay in the net. You can't really argue with, you know, how simple that actually is to do. Some people say that you have to like let some of your water in there. I honestly don't like doing that because you never know, you know, if you get some of their water in your tank. Like it's just, I just don't recommend it at all. Don't recommend it, don't do it. Okay, they're in there and in they go. Make sure we didn't forget one and no one didn't get stuck to the bag. We're good. They are in and they look fabulous. Like that's the one right there that I was talking about with the really weird, like the different shape, the different the fins. They're really yellow. They look great. These guys right here, I think these are all male. I think the koi's are male. I don't know if that one up front, this one right here, I don't know if that one is a female or male. I want to say these are all male, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I think that's a male. I think they're all males. But yeah, they're probably gonna hang out in that one spot for a while, to be honest. They're actually in the, you know, the current. You can see how they're kind of just hanging out in one area. I don't know why my camera won't focus. There we go. Yeah, I thought that was ick, but it's not. It's actually just the bubbles on their fins, so I'm not too worried about it. But if you guys can sex these for me and tell me if I am right or wrong, but they do all look like males to me because of the head. It would make sense if they are all males because they're all in the same tank, but who knows? Oh, I can't wait until they just get big and they start just going around the tank, you know. I'm going to get 5 more, so there's going to be 10 angelfish in here, 15 tetras, then it will be done. I had a crazy day yesterday. Power went out, storm came through, the fish room was completely dead for, not dead, the fish weren't dead, I shouldn't say that, but we had no power, nothing to this room. Now, with emergencies like that, there's only so much you can do, and this is literally me speaking from just straight experience from the past 12 hours. The fish room had no power for 12 hours. You guys are going to see fish that aren't even on the channel right now because this is a pretty serious thing for me. I actually ended up losing 1 angelfish out of the 75, which you guys know that I have and you are aware of that. But you didn't know that I had the arowana as far as, like, you know, live streams go. I've shown him on live streams, but there's no actual video introducing him to the fish room along with all of the fish in the 75 down here. So this means because the power went out, in 12 hours, my tanks just lost control. And I don't know why. I think it's probably because I had no filtration, no air or anything. I did everything that I possibly could to get air in here. I wasn't too worried about the, you know, the heater or anything because I could just add water to kind of warm the tanks up, even though that it's not ideal, but it still does the job. So we're currently doing the water change on the 75. We did the 75 change on the planted aquarium. The plants aren't looking good at all. They kind of, just in 12 hours, they kind of like, I'm just stressed. They kind of got brown. The arowana's tank was completely out of whack, and I'm going to show you now. I can't really show you him, but I can show you like what's going on over here. Now, I did all the water stuff for the testing for the nitrate and nitrite and ammonia and everything. The numbers aren't good, and these numbers, I test this every week, and it sounds kind of crazy and maybe a little bit extreme to be doing that every week, but I'm super anal about the condition of my tanks and like my fish's condition. I want to make sure that they're all living fine. They ain't stressed. There's no diseases. Everything is fine as far as pH and anomia and everything else in the tank. So I'm going to spin this around. And I'm going to show you what just happened in 12 hours. What is cracking, people? Welcome back to the fish room. My name is Noisy, aka Sean, or however you want to say it, Sean or Noisy Aquatics, one of the two. So I actually recorded a full video about the power outage. We have power back now, as you can see. All of the tanks are now getting maintenance work done because the main concern was the arowana tank. You guys don't really know much about the arowana tank. Well, you kind of do because of live streams, but I have actually uploaded a video of me putting him in the tank, going fish shopping, which I promise will be uploaded next week. Jeez, I just completely messed up. Oh no, that's so much water just went all over the floor. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to like just I'm gonna put you guys right here. You guys like to see like actual footage happening? Well, you're seeing right now that I just flooded the floor because my clip came out. Oh my goodness. All right, we're back. We're good. We're good, I think. Now this is gonna be completely unedited for a reason. I actually had some stuff happen. There's so much water on the floor. And there's no towel. Great, that's lovely. Hopefully that doesn't pop out again. But anyway, like I was saying, I had a full video that was edited and it didn't want to upload. And goodness. Oh, okay, we're back. So yeah, this video is obviously completely unedited because I've had issues with the computer, not with the computer, but every time I upload something, it kind of does this HDR thing and my computer like corrupts the file. And I don't know why, I have to figure it out. So yes, we had a power outage. All of the tanks were mainly this one, not all of them, but mainly the arowana tank was completely out of whack. Like my ammonia was super high, the nitrate was super high, the nitrite was super high, all in like 12 to 15 hours. This tank bottomed. Arrow wasn't doing so good. He's a lot better today, which is great. So this is, like I said, this is a raw video. There was an edited one and it was all fancy, but I just need to get this out here for you guys. But the main reason why I made it is because like I literally lost some angelfish through the power outage. It sucked, but it is what it is. Like I have a thumbnail made, I have a whole full video edited, but it just got corrupted and I couldn't upload it. So this is the video, unfortunately. Right now Arrow is literally getting a tank change because that right there is nitrate. Nitrate? Yeah, it's nitrite, sorry. It's super purple, it's bad. It's like in the 5s, I think, or something like that. It's not good. We obviously never want to see that. So we're just currently giving him a big water change. He is fine, like I said, he's doing a lot better. If I seem like I'm a bit flustered, it's because I literally just flooded the fish room and now his tank's at 80 because I had too much water in there. And now, as you can see, I created this big glass bubble in the sand, but we'll fix that. Yeah, the floor's flooded. I kind of pushed some out of it. So that happened. The power came back on yesterday, I think, or something like that. So right now we're pretty much just doing some water changes, making sure our maintenance is completely taken care of. This tank is done. I did that earlier. Her tank, sorry, not her tank's over here. Her tank is obviously fine because I don't know, I guess her tank's just far, superior than mine. The peacock tank, which again you guys don't know about, that one was kind of bottomed out. That one has changed. I did all the water on it. The planted tank, everything, you guys don't know about this, but you will shortly. It's starting to kind of die, and the fish room kind of bottomed out for a little bit, but we're getting back on track. Arrow's looking great, which is fantastic. The angels are back to being normal, even though we did lose some. The fish down here, which you guys don't really know about, which is the bichir eels and stuff, they're doing a lot better. The lady came in here earlier this morning and did the poop and stuff and did a water change as well, so they're cool. Again, I apologize that I didn't actually upload a fully edited video, but I kind of just got to do what I can in the times that we're kind of in. So it sucks that the full video that I edited wasn't able to be uploaded, but I went through all of his tank stuff, like all of his tank parameters, and they were all out of whack. I don't know why they were out of whack for how long the power was off. That's kind of weird to me. But some people might just comment saying, well, if your tank was that out of whack, it's been out of whack for a while. It's false, because like a couple of weeks ago I literally did the same test and everything came back ace and it was just completely fine. So literally in this many hours the tank decided to just bottom out and literally just go to poop really. So we're almost done with the water change, as you guys can see. Like, he's almost done. I'll introduce this tank to the channel next week, I promise you, but I've just been very highly stressed with this fish room and the power outage. I was genuinely freaked out. Like, I was in here blowing air into the water with a tube for like a solid 30 minutes. Obviously not blowing into it for 30 minutes, but I was in here for 30 minutes blowing water into each of the tank because I was that worried. And I know people are going to say, well, you can buy a battery powered pump. Yes, you're correct, you can do that. Or you can go out and buy a generator. You can also do that. Like, that's like $700-800. Unfortunately, me and the lady just don't have money to just splurge and getting a machine like that to help us out. So luckily enough, we survived it. The fish survived. We just had some losses in the angelfish tank. As far as that goes, I'm going to try and do my best here to get everyone back to speed, back up to date. And luckily enough, we didn't have that many losses. My main concern, it sounds dumb, my main concern was Arrow, because I know that he isn't exactly the hardiest fish in here. Everyone else in here is very, very hardy. He is very finicky, but just because of the breed of arowana that he is. So I hope you guys enjoyed the update. Sorry if it was pretty raw and I messed up on the edits, and you kind of saw me just flood the floor. I'm just stressed. So whew, we're good. The fish room's back to normal. We got the power on. The tank is almost filled up, which is great. I'm gonna go shut the water off, but I'll be uploading a fully edited video next week for you guys. That is me introducing introducing the Arrow to the fish room. So on that note, I'm out of here. I appreciate you guys for the love and the support in the channel. It really does mean a lot to me. Just don't flood your fish room like I just did, because obviously it happens to everybody. Luckily enough, like, I didn't overfill it. I just flooded it because of this bloody hose just likes to kind of pop out here and there, and the clam isn't exactly the best. So we are out of here. I appreciate you. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks so much for the support. I'll see you next week in another video, and probably tomorrow or maybe tonight for a live stream. We'll see. So what did I do to prevent furthermore damage to the fish room? And I won't lie to you, there's really nothing more I could have done from the point of like literally blowing bubbles into the tank for like 5 minutes. Like, I was literally beside one tank for 5 minutes. I'd scoot over to the next one. I would blow air into the water. I don't know if it helped. I don't know if it even could help, but at the end of the day, a fish needs an air stone, okay? Like, I know certain fish don't need an air stone, like betta fish don't really need an air stone or anything like that, but the big fish and the expensive fish 100% need air. So many people are probably going to be watching this video thinking, well, you could have asked the neighbor for power, or you could have done this and done that. Well, this whole block was like just without power for a very long time. I could have gotten a generator. Yes, you're correct, but I did not have the funds to go drop $700-800 on a generator, and then just run extension cords. Trust me, I've done this before in my old house that I had all my fish in. I did that. I had a generator. I ran like maybe 4 or 5 extension cords down to the basement and hooked up the power strips, and then it was fine. Like, the fish room it had power, everything was working. At the end of the day, like, when something like this happens, there's only so much you can do. Now, if you're rich or have savings or have money to go blow on something like that, then yeah, I would say I recommend 100% do it. But at least now I know for the future that we should probably invest into a generator or installing a Generac outside, which I can do. I was licensed to do that. We can install a Generac to the main house, which feeds the fish room that's in the backyard. As far as like the temperature of the water goes, it didn't really change that bad. I think it actually went up more than down, because this room gets very hot because of where it's located in the yard and how like it's insulated it's insulated very well, like pretty much. Like, but the main door that comes in, the big garage opening door, that thing radiates heat. It's about 77 in here now. I think it's about like maybe 85 outside. So the fish room now is completely fine. All the temps for the tanks, they're a little high. Like the angelfish are at 80. I think the pea puffers are at 78. Arrow, I think, is ran about maybe 79 or something like that. And then the fish that you don't know about, but the peacocks down here that you guys haven't seen yet, which I will do a video on soon. I just needed to get this video out because it was hard for me, to realize that my fish are pretty much suffering right now. And it sounds really silly and really stupid, but when you are in this hobby and you spend the money and the time and the passion to really advance on something that makes you happy, and they're literally living things. I wouldn't say they're the same relation to a dog or a cat or something like that, but to me they are. Like, these are my pets. These are pretty much my kids. It's, like I said, it sounds dumb, but if you've been doing this hobby for a long time, or you just got into it, you know the connection that you have to the fish that you keep. And for me to realize that these guys are going without everything that they need to survive in the water in my room, it's a pretty big deal. So, you know, I was just blowing water inside, blowing water, not blowing water, but I was blowing air into the water to try to kind of help it, because Arrow, by maybe the 4th hour, he was starting to gulp a little bit. That's a huge indication that there's not enough, you know, oxygen or CO2 in the tank. He's kind of, you know, starving for air. He's kind of like choking out. So he is a lot better now, and I honestly, it's a huge relief that I was able to just kind of get through this time. And like I told you before, with the temperature, it wasn't too bad. I think I was adding maybe cold water into the tank to kind of maintain a steady level. It did fluctuate a lot up. I think the tanks were at 81 when I got in here. 81's not bad, and I know it doesn't sound a lot to people, but it is to a fish. If they're used to being at 78, a couple of degrees change in water temp could possibly harm them. I'm not saying it will 100%. It could possibly, because they're used to the parameters that you have when you have power and you have all of your equipment running to maintain the tank to the correct levels. I'm not too fully sure that that 12 hours made that tank that bad, but a couple of days ago that tank was not that bad. When I came in, like I said, when the power went out, the fish were kind of still. They weren't really doing anything, and I know that because the tank's silent. There's no water movement, there's no air, so they're kind of just chilling. But Arrow was pretty much in a pretty bad state, and I just had to act quick. And I can't believe that I was in here for maybe 30 minutes to an hour, blowing water, blowing, you know, O2, CO2, O2, air, whatever you call it, into the tank. Sorry if I can't really talk. I'm just I'm just stressed, you know. So we only had one casualty, and obviously I will replace that fish soon. I'm just very thankful that all of the fish pretty much survived. So the peacocks are doing great. You know, Arrow's now fine. The pea puffers are out, coming and chilling around. If you're worrying about why the pea puffer tank looks a little bit tan, it's because if you do your research, they actually do prefer a little bit of tannins in the water. So we try to maintain that tannin in the water for them, and tannin isn't bad for your fish. So don't worry. I mean, people are probably going to disagree with that, but I'm just going off personal preference. I know what my fish like, and that is a good, healthy home to the tank parameters that they like. So I'm sorry that this wasn't the upload that you were expecting. I know we said that it was going to be the arowana adding. I will upload that maybe next week. I just wanted to get this video out because it was huge, and it was a big deal, and it did stress me out a lot, and we did lose a fish. So I'm sorry if this wasn't the video that you saw, but I appreciate you watching it and tuning in. Hopefully the arowana tank will actually get back up to speed here soon with the tank parameters. But again, I appreciate you guys so much, and ladies, for watching the video. If you have any questions, if you want to drop some advice maybe for future, you know, videos, or future advice for when this could happen again, I would greatly appreciate it. So on that note, I'm out of here, and we will see you next week, or we'll probably see you today at some point. Later on, we'll probably do a live stream and hang out for a little bit. So I'll see you soon. I appreciate it. Have a good day. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm out. Welcome back to the fish room. My name is Noisy, and this is a pretty awesome build, must I say so myself. Speaking of actually how decent this room has actually turned out, and I know most people have been wondering if I'm going to expand and if I'm going to get more tanks, because I think someone called me out the other day on the live stream. I think it was last week. I said that I want to make it bigger. I want more tanks. And I know getting more tanks and maintaining a bunch of tanks will obviously get stressful. It will probably get very overwhelming, but I think I won't be able to experience that if I don't go ahead and do what I love and enjoy. Now, all of this is going to tie into why I'm making this video, and the reason why. Everything is going to make sense as I progress through this video, I promise you. Expanding this current building would obviously be a huge project. I would probably just go ahead and buy, you know, a structure that is literally the same size as this, and then just slap it next door, remove both of the doors, and then remove the window. I've already spoke to the lady. It actually, I mean, it might happen down the road, will happen down the road. I've already thought of things that I can do in this fish room. Like I've already thought of fish that I would like in the other room. I thought about how it's gonna look, what I'm gonna do. Like I thought about so much stuff to making this room bigger. Like the window that's in the middle of the two doors, if you've watched the previous videos of me building this place, you will know what window I'm talking about. That window would be a crazy, crazy design to put like a square fish tank in it, right? Obviously do like steel bars through the bottom of the structure going down, and then obviously making a stand inside the wall. But I thought that would be dope. It would be like a floating fish tank in the middle of both rooms. How awesome would that be? So I have thought and obviously done research and done budgeting and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not going to lie to you, the price is very, very high up there. And at some point, we will get to that point. I will have to call in reinforcements to help me put it out, you know, put it in the backyard, build it and everything like that. Because I know I can build another fish room just like this, pretty much identical. I'd still go with the same theme and all of that stuff. But that is one topic I wanted to get out the way. The second topic is, if you saw the live stream last week, you would see that me and Jim from Happy Place Aquatics met up. He did come down, help me kind of build a section of a fence. It was very hot. I grilled, I had a barbecue, I did a bunch of stuff. I just wanted him to feel welcome into my house and into my yard and my barn and everything like that. So it went really well, but the dude did surprise me, and he did actually bring me 6 blue acaras down that he obviously hatched himself, or however the term is, hatched fry from wigglers to, you know, bloody free swimming, you know, fish. And he did give me 2 of these other fish, and I wanted them for a while. And now I feel stupid because I cannot think of the name. They're called turquoise something. I don't know what it is, and I probably should have done the research on the fish and just took a picture and just at least known the name of it. But I've had a long day at work. It was stressful and it was crazy. I wanted to get out here and make a video, and obviously keep everybody in the loop of what happened last week and what is upcoming. So on to everything else in the fish room. We'll go ahead and we'll just go tank to tank. And I want to show you how well everyone is doing in this fish room. And it is so nice that we have recovered from the power outage. All the tanks are back to, you know, being fantastic. All the parameters are great. The arowana is just an absolute eating machine. We'll actually feed him some crickets live on camera for you guys. I have tried to get videos of him, but for some reason he hates the lens. If he sees the lens, he will immediately freak out. Like, and I mean, dart around the tank, try and jump out. So I'm going to try and put it at a distance and then just drop a cricket in, and then you guys can see him smash the cricket. If you don't like live, you know, feeding, I wouldn't really watch this part, to be honest, because obviously it's just a cricket. I get that, but to someone else it could be a living thing. So if you don't like watching live things get fed to fish, probably skip forward maybe 25-30 seconds, because we're going to go ahead and feed the arowana some crickets. Okay, so let's see if this is going to work. I did try and record a video of me dropping one in there, but I turned the lights out. He looks super sketched right now. Like, he's super stressed. He's breathing super heavy. He probably won't even be interested in what I have here. As you can see, he's like gulping pretty hard. But I'm going to hold this here for a second until he can see it. He's probably way too stressed for me to feed him, but I'll leave it right like that and we'll see if he gets it. Not interested, people. I tried. I put one in there and he didn't allow me to get him on video, like actually going for it. For some reason, he does not like the camera at all. Like, I don't know what it is about the camera. He does not like it. So he did in fact smash one. I don't know if you guys can see him chewing it or it even being in his mouth, but you can see he's got a really, really big belly. That's because he's already eaten like 3 today. But he looks great. Like I said, he's just a little bit stressed. He does not like the camera, and it's kind of like a little bit upsetting that he doesn't like the camera because he's such a beautiful fish and his colors are coming in fantastically. But I think maybe if I set my phone up or set something that looks like a phone in front of his camera, in front of his tank, should I say, I feel like he would really just kind of get used to the camera being out. And as you can see, his color looks fantastic. But just look at the colors on this arowana. The Giardini looks absolutely fantastic. He really does. Most people actually don't know that I have this tank in the room. They know that I have the tank, but they don't know I have the fish. This tank is my African cichlid tank, pretty much. I mean, to me, the peacocks are actually cichlids in my eyes, but I have a bunch of them. There obviously is more that's going to be going in here. I have two beautiful, like, colored ones. I don't know if my camera's going to pick up how amazing these guys actually look. Obviously, it's not going to focus, and I'm so sorry that the bloody video just kind of goes into poop. But back here, I do have another one, and he is actually protecting eggs right now. As you can see, he's very aware of his surroundings. And now he's coming out, and then obviously this one will probably head over there and check it out to make sure no one is eating his lovely eggs. But this tank is a work in progress. As you can see, not many things in here as far as plants go. I know I had a decoration and the lady put that in there to kind of make it look a little bit better, but as you can see, they dug right up underneath it. That was straight. It's crazy. I don't know why they look like that and why they dig underneath the like ornaments and belly a hole, and they've done it right here too, as you can see. Like, but over here, the angelfish tank is obviously thriving and looking fantastic. We've got a bunch of new growth over here on some of the plants. The blue acaras look great. Again, Happy Aquatics, I really do appreciate you, mate. Jim, you're truly a very good friend, mate, and I couldn't ask for more of a beautiful gift to have you over, and you give me these fantastic looking fish. Like I said before, I forgot what these are called. I know Jim's gonna see this video and he's gonna probably be mad at me. But as you can see, I don't know what he is. And the focus does not want to focus. But look, I don't know what, it just looks great. It really does. But this tank is looking fantastic. I know I keep saying it because I'm so proud of how the plants are doing, the fish are doing fantastic. As far as everything else goes in here, it's going well. Everyone just got a massive water change because the city decided to do some chemical thing in the water. So I made sure I got these guys completely cleaned and fresh water put in, because I'm not obviously going to do a water change for another month, and especially after they add chemicals into the water that we use for the tanks. The cool thing about the city that I live in, they actually do send out a notice and they say, hey, your water's going to be off at this time for this many hours. This is what we're doing to it. They don't usually just surprise, boom, do it, and you have to figure it out for yourself that for some reason you're getting this chemical pumped through your water. You had to boil the water inside the house to get the chemicals out. So I drained the hot water tank and then filled it back up and drained it again and filled it back up, and then obviously you were able to drink it. Besides, the crazy idea that we're probably going to be expanding this next year is just beyond me, and I just had to share the experience and obviously share the news that it's probably going to happen. And I keep saying to my lady that this is going to be her side, and then obviously the new side is going to be mine, but we're going to make sure our side is just a little bit bigger, because I would love to do a wall of 75s. So instead of obviously my 4 75s right here and then the 50s, I would obviously have, I need to stop saying obviously, I would clearly have 3 racks of 75s, which would be fantastic. And then we have to get the Giardini his forever home, which is going to be built on either the back side or the front side of this one or the new build. I do appreciate you guys checking it out. It really does mean a lot to me. And before I end the video, for everyone that has subscribed to me and followed me on this journey and who found the channel and who is new, maybe you haven't commented or you just subscribe and then you just watch the videos without saying a peep and I don't know who you are. If you are new, don't be afraid to just drop a comment on a video and let me say hey to you. Let me say, hey, I appreciate you for following me and supporting the channel and watching me go through this new hobby with, everybody else. My dog's barking. So I'm gonna end it. I appreciate you guys so much. Have a blessed day and thank you for the support.